RJ, are you okay if I move that just a little bit closer to you? Okay. It's no problem at all. No gentleman here, sir. What's going on, Nate? Yep. Beyonce's Blackbird yet? When she gets down, McCartney gets a little lower. And it's like, whoa, it's incredible. It's really great. I love that song.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get this win tonight.
Yeah, need this one, man. Yeah, this will be a big one.
Yeah. Nate, when's Return of the Empire on again?
Yeah.
Oh, good. No, I understand.
New home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
Well, I knew this was a huge game tonight. They're all huge from here, however many are going to be left. But this game, Drapes, it's even bigger than I realized, because I came in today through the Jerry Reynolds Media Center entrance, and I look up at one of the message boards, and it says, rivalry game. And I look at, the ribbon boards around here, rivalry game. And on the big board, the big video board over center court, rivalry game, Kings, Clippers. I had no idea.
But I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I want this smoke tonight. Two teams battling for playoff position. Clippers not solidified yet at that fourth spot. The Kings trying to get into the top six. And so whatever motivation you need, maybe it's a signal to the players like, hey, this game means something. This is a rivalry game. So I'm all for the smoke tonight. Let's go.
I guess it's because it's sponsored by Clean California and two California teams. I don't know, but it does bring to mind the fact that the Kings' first ever game in Sacramento was played against the LA Clippers.
LA Clippers.
Years ago.
Yes. Who was on that team? Was Norm Nixon on that squad back in the day?
Let's see.
That's
I think what was the
on that
guy that
Clippers.
ended up from Louisville? Derek. What was his
Derek
name?
Smith.
He ended up coming here because he played so well, and that didn't work out
Okay.
that night. But yes, that was the first game in Sacramento, and tonight we have. We're given to exaggerating things, but this is one of the biggest regular season games in Sacramento Kings history, isn't it? You got a lot on the line tonight.
Yeah, it is, man. But the last time we had one of those, we lost to the Dallas Mavericks. So, like that's how me and Jay spun it on Friday.
Yeah.
Like, this is like,
but you were right.
We were right, but the outcome left. So now we got another biggest regular season game until the next one, and then the
Don't
next
they just
one.
get bigger and bigger
You're
almost
right.
until you take care of your
agree.
business?
This is a massive one. This is a huge one. First of all, it's against a conference foe. And we talked about the tiebreakers when it comes to the Western Conference playoffs. If you're tied, let's say, with the Pelicans, well, you lose the tiebreaker. But if you're tied with Dallas, let's say, it goes to division, but you're not in the same division. So then it goes to conference. And so this is a big game here. You got to get this win tonight.
Yeah. Here's how funky this year has been. Of course, Kawhi Leonard not playing tonight. Normally, that'd be great news, right? And maybe it is for the Kings. You hate to see anybody injured. But a lot of Kings fans right now, they hear that news, they're like, oh, no. Right? Because the Kings struggle so much against short-handed teams. It's bizarro basketball.
It is, but fortunately, this Clippers team has a plethora of stars. It'd be different if you're playing San Antonio, no Victor Wembanyama.
Very good use of the word plethora.
Plethora, write
Excellent.
that one down. I might use that later tonight.
Sounded right.
On the
I don't
call
know what it means.
as well.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It's different than if you're playing Charlotte with no LaMelo. I mean, you still got James Harden, Paul George, Russell Westbrook. There's enough big names to get up for tonight's matchup.
Mm-hmm. I think the path forward for the Kings, we've talked about this guy and that guy and stepping up and all that. And we'll talk more about it tonight. Finally, the talking ends, at least for a couple hours we play the game. But I do think the Kings, they've embraced this grittiness to a degree. They're playing more physically because the officials are allowing them to. And I think they have to become even more physical and more gritty here without Malik. I think that's the way they're going to have to be the rest of the year. We may not have the talent you have. We don't have the talent that we had, but we're going to outwork you.
But yes, and you're 100% right with that. My only concern is that in our DNA? Like, can we do that over the sustained period of time? Like you said, we're going to have to. No Malik Monk, he was one of our emotional leaders out there. And, I think it really starts with the two guys at the top, De'Aaron Fox and Keon Ellis. If they're causing havoc, if they're getting up into the opponent, if they're making James Harden's life difficult, miserable tonight, then that sets the tone for everything else behind it. And so, no, you're right, man. But it starts with the two guys out front, the guards, I believe.
I got to tell you about our guy, RJ, who runs our audio here and keeps us on board, keeps us on the air, I should say. Two things. First of all, when I came in, he's like, I think the Kings, if they play their A game, they're going to win. He's very confident. I see some people on the chat confident. But he also said, he was talking about you and, how you know everybody and everybody comes by.
Yeah,
and said,
my people.
He said, I think maybe Drapes is running for mayor. And I said, yes, but would you vote for him?
Oh, that's the question.
And he hesitated a minute. He said, yeah. He said, Drapes would get things done.
Hey, maybe I will. Let me string together a few more playoff appearances. Remember, Kings hadn't made the playoffs in, more than a decade until I got here.
Yeah,
so I like to, take part in ending that drought.
Yes.
Get a little bit of credit for that. And, and now we got this fantastic radio show that everybody listens to, the best radio show in all of Sacramento. I like to take some credit for that. You helped out with that too. Yes.
I pitch in where I can.
Maybe, you know what? Crazy as it sounds, my mother always said, you should run for office someday.
Really?
Yeah, so you're the second person, so maybe I will. You and RJ, that's three people.
Yeah.
That
honestly, he thought about it for a second. He's like, absolutely, I would vote for him. Of course, the mayor of Sacramento, currently, Mayor Steinberg, had some interesting things to say today, which we will get to in a little bit about the potential for the A's to move here. So that's a big story today as well, as we get ready for the Kings and the Clippers. How much are we going to need from Sasha tonight? Trey Lyles. Is that silly to suggest we may need anything from Sasha? Wishful thinking?
I think so. No, I think we are going to need something. This Clippers bench led by Norman Powell they got some firepower coming off the bench, 11th in the league in bench scoring per game. The Kings are 9th. And I think when you lose a guy like Malik, who's our scorer off the bench now? It has to be somebody. Is it Trey Lyles? Is it Sasha? Somebody got to step up. It has to be one of those guys off the bench. I think we need, at least one bench scorer to be in double figures tonight. It's a massive loss. And remember, Malik seems to always play well against the Clippers. Remember last year, the 176, 175, him and De'Aaron Fox each scoring 40-plus points.
Fox plays well against him, too, though.
Yeah, Fox plays well also. And so, we're at the point of the season now, too, Whitey, and De'Aaron Fox talked about it yesterday. Sure, him and Domas got to, be the leaders, play well, but they need all hands on deck. Everybody has to step up a little bit. And I would like to see Sasha. I would like to see Trey Lyles get some more minutes, have more of an impact out here tonight.
I agree with you. All hands on deck. And I think that goes beyond the bench into the stands. And here's what I mean. I'm never one of those guys that blames fans for this or that. Never like, well, they need to show up or they need to cheer loud or whatever. Fans can do whatever they want to do because they literally pay the money. However, I think right now, and I know Kings fans are capable of this, the Kings need a home court advantage, whatever makes that up, more than ever, right?
Right.
And it wouldn't hurt if the fans, again, you can't expect this because they already bring it at a higher level than anybody else. If the Kings fans are able to amp it up the next few home games, it wouldn't hurt. That's all I'm saying. They need it. They need everything they can get.
They do, totally. And you missed it on Friday when I came in with my De'Aaron Fox jersey on.
I saw it, though.
Shooting sleeve. I had my headband. It was all hands on deck. I was trying to do my part. And I'm with you on the fans. But let me ask you this, though, because I feel like you mentioned this. The fans are always ready. They're always geeked up. Now, what if it goes sideways? Because we've heard booing in this building before. Is this a time where this fan base needs to, even if you're down 6, 8, 10, you have to do your part to try and lift the guys up. Don't be front-running fans and only cheer when the team is doing well. We need them lifted up tonight, too.
I agree. We've talked about booing. Should fans boo or not? Whatever. You can do what you want. However, in my opinion, the rest of the way this year, booing is off the table. The booing was because, hey, we thought this team was better. Now, does that mean you should boo? Well, you have a right to, but that's what the booing was about. Hey, they're supposed to be better, and they're losing these games they're supposed to win. Well, now, as shorthanded as they are, that is off the board.
Yeah.
Right now, the Kings they're hanging on, and they need everybody behind them.
Right, and I'm with you. Yeah, the crowd, the ushers, security people, concessions, whatever. You got to raise your game, and if there are any Clippers fans that try to get into the building, maybe revoke their ticket, whatever it takes to get a win tonight, right? You know what I mean? Seriously, no, it's we're at a critical spot in the season right now because we're eyeballing the standings. Every game is important. Phoenix is off tonight, but you got Golden State taking on Dallas tonight. We're keeping an eye on that. And so every game, every minute, every second tonight is going to be huge. And hopefully our guys have that mindset too, that, you know what, we're coming out. We're ready to face this Clippers team, even though they're shorthanded. No Kawhi Leonard. They still got plenty of stars. And so I think it's going to be a great game tonight.
I'm sure there are a few of them out there. You mentioned the term Clipper fan, and they're out there, but they don't have a ton of fans, do they? I mean, you think of like Knicks fans, Laker fans, Warrior fans.
I don't think they travel like
Clipper fans. There aren't that many, are they?
They're out there, but it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. But I will say, there's James Harden fans, there's Russell Westbrook fans, there's Paul George fans. So, Clippers Nation got some of those guys,
sure.
Even though, the Clippers are like the city of Los Angeles, a bunch of transplants, a bunch of guys from other teams that come in, and now, they band together. And so they brought some fans with them from OKC, from Indiana, from Philly, and so fans of those players, they're out there.
Yeah. And I'm not criticizing or ridiculing fans of the Clippers. They're just, it's kind of the nature of the franchise. They haven't had that many. I'm trying to think of celebrity Clipper fans. And, it's
Billy
in LA.
Crystal.
Billy Crystal. Also, do you remember Malcolm in the Middle? That guy, Frank Muniz? He was a Clipper fan. That's about the only one I can remember.
I know. Who else, right?
Yeah.
You got their Clipper Darrell. That's about it. But he's a glorified fan That's
And you know the Lakers, Jack Nicholson,
Right.
everybody going way back.
Yeah.
And the Clippers, they got Malcolm in the middle. So yeah.
The difference between the two franchises was interesting. The last time we played the Clippers was down there in L.A. and Sacramento took over.
I know.
Kings fans took over. That couldn't happen in the Lakers game. We tried in the Lakers game. It wasn't as strong. But that Clippers game, we took over that arena down there.
All right. So we're setting the table here for what could be a huge, unforgettable night. Big day for Sacramento on the baseball front as well, potentially. When we come back, we'll tell you about the meeting that the A's had with Oakland today and the meeting that the A's are supposed to have tomorrow with Sacramento. Next here from the Golden One Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Welcome to the April Adventure sales event at Kia Vacaville, where they're ushering a new season with unbeatable lease options for their 2024 lineup. As April blooms with possibilities, it's the perfect time to discover the thrill of driving a Kia, featuring the luxurious and versatile Kia Telluride. During April Adventures, Kia Vacaville is excited to unveil their top models with irresistible lease offers. Feel the exhilaration of the all-new Kia Sportage, blending captivating design with dynamic performance. Experience the impressive fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid wonder that stretches your adventures further. And don't miss out on the chance to boost your journeys with the luxurious comfort and practicality of the Kia Telluride. Available now at Kia Vacaville. Embrace the look of spring with their eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, tailored for those who seek efficiency without sacrificing style with the EV9 in stock. Kia Vacaville is your premier destination for electric excitement. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. For more details, visit Kia Vacaville and embark on your April adventure today.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Oh, yeah, big night tonight and a big day for Sacramento baseball-wise, potentially. We're not sure exactly what went down today, but you know that Sacramento, England, to get the A's here on a 3-year temporary basis. We also know that the A's met with Oakland today. Now, Kyle, it's really important for us to be careful when we consider whom or who we're consuming information from. So what do you think of this source on Twitter, especially as it relates to anything having to do with this story? Carmichael Dave.
Ooh, I don't know. Does he have sources? Does he have any connections, if you will?
He apparently does have some sources. Now, Casey Pratt today in the Bay Area, he posted a video on Twitter about the meetings, which you might want to check out. Carmichael Dave added this. He said, good stuff from Casey here. Agree wholeheartedly. As for progress, Carmichael Dave, who has, some ins with some of the big ownership types in town. Carmichael Dave, Oakland and the A's are still quite a ways apart. They meet with Sacramento tomorrow. All signs point to a deal being struck and an announcement either end of week or early.
Who said that?
Carmichael Dave. Now, he doesn't say
really?
He implies that it's a deal with Sacramento. That's not, you could still read that either way, though.
Right. You could read that either way, right? Yeah. Ooh, that's spicy. Why would you meet with Sacramento?
Mm-hmm.
And then Carmichael Dave saying a deal would be struck into this week, early next week.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a deal with Oakland is going to be struck into this week or early next week, why come up to Sacramento?
Right.
And so, wow, this could be major news.
We also have a statement from Mayor Steinberg. You mentioned, you may run for mayor someday.
Office, yeah.
And you'll probably wait till Mayor Steinberg goes.
Yeah. I don't want to oppose him. I'll wait.
This is what he said to Jake Gadon from, I think he's CBS 13.
CBS 13. Yeah.
Quote, it's important. This is the mayor. It's important for me to express my sincere hope that the A's remain in Oakland. I have been consistent in my support for this from the very beginning. However, I believe that Sacramento has so much to offer and would be a fantastic temporary landing spot for the A's. Our city and region have a rich history in baseball and a deep love for sports. Sacramento would wholeheartedly welcome Major League Baseball, as we have shown with the Sacramento Kings. Second to Oakland, Sacramento is the best choice, end quotes. And now we just play the waiting game a little bit.
Okay.
Wait for them to meet tomorrow and see what comes out of that.
What's going to be interesting is the reaction if it is Sacramento. And I'm talking from the fans, media members. Are we excited? Are we, yes, this is going to be awesome? Are we in our feelings because of Oakland situation?
It's complicated.
You know, it's definitely a complicated week ahead for the city of Sacramento. It sounds like, to me, and I'm reading between the lines, the mayor's statement. He wants this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
If, obviously, it doesn't go to Oakland. We heard Vivek also talk about it, and it seemed like, you know, he had some inside info. And I think our quote-unquote leaders would welcome this. Oakland, the A's to Sacramento. But you can't, it's one of those things where you can't be too excited, though. Like on the inside, you can be bustling and happy, but you can't project it like, oh, this is an awesome day when your neighbors, you know, an hour away are hurting right now.
Yeah, it's interesting to your point about the city leaders, and they've been working on this for a long time. If you go back, it was maybe a year ago or more where we first started hearing about Sacramento involved in a effort to get the A's here. And I remember my first thought was, yeah, good luck with that. Right. Yeah. You know, but they persevered. Casey Pratt's story that he posted today on YouTube, he talked about Vivek, because apparently Vivek is really the driving force here. Yep. Americans say what he wants, but obviously somebody needs to have the money and wherewithal to make it happen. Casey Pratt says everybody involved says that Vivek has good intentions at heart. But he wants to own a Major League Baseball team, wants to bring one here. And a lot of people in Oakland they're not happy. And I'm talking about people with the city, the county. They're not happy that Sacramento is getting involved in this, because in a way it's really weakening,
undercutting
Oakland's,
them.
Yes. And that's putting all the fan stuff aside. And it's significant, but just the nuts and bolts of the negotiations.
Yeah. And I can see that. I can see why Oakland would be upset. But ultimately, the leaders here in Sacramento are only loyal to one area, and that's the city of Sacramento. And, you know, you want us to sit out and they go to Salt Lake City. Will that make you happy if you're, you know, Oakland city leaders? And so I could see why they would say, you know, don't bail them out. Don't help them out, you know. But the A's are going to go somewhere. And they're going to go somewhere. And we want it to be, at least I do, I want it to be Sacramento if it's not Oakland. I want it to be Sacramento. And so, you know, from a city leader's perspective, like I said, it's something you can't necessarily champion publicly. Like, it's not a rah-rah kind of thing.
In some corners it is. I know you're trying to be very sensitive.
Yeah, I'm trying to be sensitive.
Some people are really, really excited about it.
Yeah, and I get it. And, you know, I think it would be great for the city of Sacramento, even if it's only for 3 years. I mean, if this thing takes off, it's sort of like OKC. I talked to you, you know, we talked about it with basketball, you know, when the Hornets at the time, New Orleans Hornets relocated to Oklahoma City, you know, the fan base got behind that, and it showed the NBA, man, that basketball can thrive here. And then Clay Bennett bought the Sonics and moved them. And so I think, you know, for 3 years, the city of Sacramento can show the world, show Major League Baseball, yes, we can get behind a team. We can support a team. We just hate it that it's that ownership. That's the thing that's, hard to swallow. But I think ultimately it would be good for Sacramento.
By the way, side note on that whole thing, and maybe you know all about this, but when the team left Seattle, people in Seattle, of course, they were furious at the Commissioner Stern at the time, because Seattle supported their team. They couldn't get an arena built.
Right.
Next thing you know, no more Sonics. So then when the Kings, years later, the Kings nearly left here, they were maybe going to go to Seattle, and the Commissioner was really deeply involved with Mayor Johnson and involved with keeping the Kings here. I always thought that, all right, the Commissioner learned his lesson, that hurt so much that they saw a team leave a city that loved them. They didn't want that to happen again. But I've heard from a couple different sources that one of the factors may have been the commissioner was so mad about what they said about him in Seattle, he didn't want them to get another team.
Really?
Now, I don't know.
Got
but
personal there, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Oh, okay. I don't know, but thank goodness, one way or the other, the Kings stayed here.
Let me ask you this, though. Here, this is the one drawback to this whole Oakland A's situation coming to Sacramento. What happens in 3 years when, all right, it was fun, guys. Now we're back. We're off to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Would there be some emotional attachment from Sacramento fans for the A's? And then, bam, all right, they're gone. And so, you got to look at it on the back end of it. Also, how would that affect the area, the city?
Sure.
Emotionally as well, too.
It looks to me like the play here is you're trying to thread the needle, right? You're trying to get the team here and then hope that Vegas falls through. I mean, we can talk about, we'll prove our worth to Major League Baseball, get an expansion team. I mean, maybe, but that's way down the road. So if the hope then is bring them here, Vegas falls through, you keep the team. Well, I think somewhere about halfway through this 3-year period, at least, we'll have a clearer idea of whether they're going or not. So at the end of year 2, if we know that they're going to Vegas, then if they left at the year end of 3, I think it would be less emotional, right? We would have had a lot more time to prepare ourselves. We'd already know that they'd be going.
And we know it's a short time thing, and you go into it with your eyes open. It's not like, this is you're being hoodwinked or anything like that. And so, no, I hear you.
It's just a guess. I mean, I don't know.
But think about this, and I know this team doesn't have much star power like they used to.
Sure.
But
none. We don't have any.
Come
on.
Listen. Let me tell this. But the Red Sox are in town right now.
Yeah.
Against Oakland A's.
Uh-huh.
How about that series being played here in Sacramento?
Yeah.
A chance to see the Red Sox, a chance to see the Yankees when they come, and so the Mariners. And so there's some big names out there that would be staying here at the Sawyer Hotel.
Sure.
Probably. It's funny. When the Yankees would come to Boston, they'd stay at the Ritz-Carlton. And this is during their heyday when they had A-Rod and Jeter and everything. You would think the Beatles were staying at that hotel. The level of security and fans outside. Imagine that here in Sacramento, just how crazy that would be when the Yankees come to town.
As you probably know, the A's last year had a guy that led the American League in stolen bases. Yeah. I want to make sure I get his name. Esteury Ruiz.
Yes.
Okay.
Ruiz, yeah.
Led the league in stolen bases. Got off to in the first weekend of the season, hit 429.
Hell of a start.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
They sent him down.
Hold on, you're playing too well. You're trying to help us win games. What are you doing?
And they said, well, he strikes out too much. He struck out one time in the opening weekend.
Oh my!
He needs to get on base, and like I said, he hit 429.
Yeah.
So they
what are they doing?
They signed a guy, and they had too many outfielders, or I don't know. Maybe the union gets involved in that. But that's the type of franchise we're hoping that we get hitched up with. Guys hit 429. Send them down.
Send them down.
Got to get on base more.
Yeah.
That's
it's an awfully run franchise right now. It really is. And I think they had 6,000 announced at yesterday's game, which is the Red Sox in town, and they still could only pull in 6,000.
Yeah.
Do
you remember? I remember. I wasn't at the game, but when the great A's teams, Charlie Finley's A's, they all dispersed because of free agency, and the A's were miserable. Late 70s, they were terrible, and no one went to the games. And they had a game against the Seattle Mariners in Oakland, and Seattle was like a brand new team, and they were terrible. They had fewer than 1,000 people there. And that was the announced attendance. Sometimes they will pad the numbers and say it's 10,000, and you look around and go, there's not even 4,000. They had, I think it was 700 something fans.
What?
Yeah. I'll look it up for you. It's a record. Yeah. So things have been worse, but we should find out more tomorrow. I'm a little suspicious, Drape. Should I be? Everything we hear that's leaked on this is, they're going to Sacramento.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
That leads me to believe that perhaps all the leaking is designed to pressure Oakland to do more to keep them.
Coming from the A's side of things, the franchise side of things.
Yes. Like, oh, boy, it's looking great in Sacramento.
We're
going to Sacramento. What are they going to do about it?
Sweeten your deal.
Yeah.
And to your point, man, a lot of people don't want to be used. Don't want the city used as a pawn, a bargaining chip for the A's to get what they want from Oakland. And you might be right. That might be what's happening.
We may know, middle of next week?
Next week.
Exciting times to be a sports fan in Sacramento. The Clippers in town tonight when we come back here. Russell Westbrook, one of the most popular Clippers. Is he overreacting to the heckling? He got into it with a fan again over the weekend. That's next year from the Golden One. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The final game of the homestand concludes Tuesday as the Los Angeles Clippers pay a visit to Golden One Center and the Sacramento Kings.
It's fourth quarter Fox time. He's doubled, throws a pass cross court to Keegan, steps to his left, launches a three. He's got the triple. It's the fourth one from downtown in 5 attempts by Keegan Murray. And the Kings have tied it at 101.
Catch all the play-by-play starting at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Fidium Fiber, Dawson Oil Company, and Good Guys Heating and Cooling.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Maida Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado LT and RST half-ton diesel in stock after rebates. A Maida Chevy exclusive. See all the truck season savings at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Ends 4/30/24.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar. Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Progressive presents 10 things on a food truck owner's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Stocking the fridge, prepping the stations, finding employees that get along well, finding employees that actually do their job. Looking at you, Gary. Balancing the books, balancing the flavors, having a fresh menu and fresh produce and fresh meat, but never a fresh mouth. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyonce's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Kings and Clippers. Yeah. Nice. Got the Drive Guys here. And, of course, Clippers loaded with stars, even though Kawhi Leonard's not playing tonight. Drapes, as you probably know, Russell Westbrook got into it with a fan over the weekend, a Charlotte Hornets fan. This was during Sunday's game, and fan was, let's see, he was riding Westbrook pretty hard in the first half. Russell Westbrook went after the guy. There's video of this, and Russ said, "I got kids. Don't disrespect my name. I don't give a bleep to what." And then the spectator said something. Russ said, "I don't give a bleep." And we're not clear if the guy was thrown out or maybe just things stopped from there. You know, in the past, Westbrook has really gotten upset when fans have called him Westbrick. In 22, I think, when he was with the Lakers, some fans there did that, and he said his family was there, and he was really upset by that. This is the second time this season he's gotten into it with a fan, presumably about that, but we're not exactly sure. Right. Do you think, in your opinion, is he overreacting a little bit, or what do you think?
Maybe, but you know, I've been down low and heard some things from fans, even in this building here, that, in my opinion, crossed the line. And I just think, you know, instead of, you know, having a discussion about, you know, is Russell Westbrook, you know, too sensitive or whatever the conversation may be, I think the conversation should be like, why would a fan do that? Like, why would, like, are you trying to be funny? Are you trying, like, why are, you know, I think fans at times go too far. I mean, I was here that Tuesday night when the Mavs were here for the nationally televised game. And usually I don't get to hear the fans because I have my headset on. But because I wasn't working, I didn't have my headset. And some of the things that were shouted at Luka, unbelievable. And so I just think at times fans, yes, go too far. And, you know, I was sitting next to a Mavs guy. I'm talking about the Luka situation. And we were like, people wouldn't say that on the street. Like, if Russell Westbrook was walking down the street and this guy was walking past, he wouldn't be like, "Hey, what's up, Westbrook?" You know, like, I don't know why fans feel the need or think paying for a ticket allows you to, you know, say certain things to players. Now that's, you know, in the whole, you know, scheme of insults and things, maybe that's not that strong, but we know Westbrook hates that. You know, we know that's a trigger for him. And so 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be on the side of players because, you know, some of the things that fans say, it just crossed the line.
I'm with you. On the surface, that looks like it's not that big a deal, is it? Right. However, he made it clear, as I said, I think it was really in 22 when it came to a head. He felt like, my kids are there. They don't like hearing that. That's their name. And so he decided he was gonna take a stand, make a stand on it. I applaud him for the way he handled this. If someone says something, you know, he could point, say, "Get that guy out of here." He goes over to the fan. Said, "Don't call me that." I appreciate it that he, like you say, the fan treats him like he's not even human.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook goes and faces the guy, you know, person to person, like, "Why are you calling me that?" So I appreciate the way he's handling this. There's also an article today, might be in The Athletic. I don't know if you saw this. A lot of players now say the things that they are hearing during games from gamblers is way out of control.
Yes.
Fans, you know, blaming you, so you cost me my money.
Right.
And we talked about this a few weeks ago. Halliburton said, it's like I'm a prop.
Right.
I'm not even a person to these.
Right. And you're right about the gambling situation. I mean, you know, guys will scream out, you know, or people will scream out, "Hey man, I got you on this parlay," you know, like just, and it's gone too far. And, but I think what we're seeing, you know, from fan behavior really is just a microcosm of our society. Now you look at social media, let's say, and how brave people are, or cowardly, however you want to look at it, because a lot of these times these people don't put their real name.
Oh yeah, they're hiding.
They're hiding behind, you know.
They think there's some barrier there. Then when you have a LeBron or a Westbrook turn around, walk through the barrier and confront them, they're
like the Kevin Durant situation. Remember, Kevin Durant? Where was that? Was that Charlotte too? That might have been Charlotte also. I'm trying to think a few weeks ago. And so I just think, fans and people in general just have to be better, man, because at the end of the day, these are human beings, Westbrook doesn't go to your job and start, yelling, like, just because, you paid for a ticket doesn't give you the right to verbally abuse this man at his job. And so, like I said, most of the time I'm on player side. And, you talked about how Westbrook handled it. He's a better guy than I am, because I would get the fan out of there, like players have that power to eject fans, get them ejected. And I would flex the muscle, be like, that dude out of here. He got to go, and that's how I would play it. And so Westbrook handled it differently.
According to the LA Times, that was at least the 4th time this year Westbrook has taken part in some sort of verbal sparring with members of the crowd. Let's see. One of those happened November against the Nuggets in LA. And Westbrook said, if I'm responding, there's a reason I'm responding. Understanding what Westbrook means, understanding how important that is to my dad, my grandfather, my family. It's very important. It's something I stand on, and respect is a big thing that I value. So the moment that line gets crossed, I won't allow it no more.
Right. He's gone on record as saying that.
Yeah, he said, my son is old enough to know what's going on and asking me, hey, Dad, what does that mean? Now I got to stand on it.
Yeah, exactly. And think about this. When you're in an arena with 17,000, 18,000, some of the things that these players hear, and it's probably not even just that one. I think about the Devin Booker situation in Dallas a few weeks ago as well. He got into it with a fan. And there comes a point where, as a person, as a human being, you get tired of it and you react. And these guys aren't robots. I know, people say, oh, they make a lot of money and, they should be above that and everything like that. But who am I to tell Russell Westbrook how he should react to being insulted? If that's, he didn't put hands on the person, he didn't throw down. Like I said, I would have handled it differently. I would have got, ejected this person, got this person ejected. Westbrook decided to handle it how he handled it.
I know there are some players. I remember talking to Eric Burns about this, former River Cat. And, if you're an outfielder, fans are going to ride you a little bit. But he would say, there's some cities where you'd listen to him, and sometimes you got to go, okay, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of almost a game.
Right.
But maybe it's because in the NBA, the players are so close, they're right there. And maybe it's just, as you say, where we are now as a society,
Right.
It's gotten more personal and it's gotten a lot more pointed. And it's not just, hey, you're on the other team, so I'm going to ride you a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like personal insult.
Yeah. I go back to the situation with Luka last week, and I'll tell the story. I'm sitting there at my normal broadcast location, and Luka's talking to a ref or something, and somebody yells out, really close to where I was, Luka, stop acting like a whiny, the B word, the A word and the B word. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, why? Like, what would make you think to yell something like that? And it just, I have a saying, man, and this is, I'll take you behind the curtains. Sometimes I wish people could get their butts kicked. Like, it was okay to square up and just, because I think a lot of people feel protected in these arenas because they know the players aren't going to go do anything. It's sort of like being at a zoo or something like that. The animals are in the cage and they can't get out. So you poke the bear, if you will, or you poke animals behind the cage. And so I just think, man, fans got to be better, man. I think, because you pay money to watch these guys play. You don't pay money to come heckle these guys and insult these guys and call them names. I just think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know there's an NBA fan code of conduct, but then, what happens when that is breached? I'll never forget in the old building when C-Webb, after he got traded his first game back in Sacramento, he came in with the Sixers and Iverson, and it was a pretty good team. It was pretty clear that night, for what it's worth. Iverson and his teammates decided, we're setting up our guy tonight. It was one of the best games I've ever seen Iverson had. Okay. He was playing pure point guard. But anyway, in the stands, it got, as you can imagine, really ugly, because this was Chris Webber coming back, beating the Kings, with another team. And things got really ugly in the stands.
People were mad at Webber?
They were mad at each other. Right. And, and I remember where we were, things started getting like physical. And, I'm looking around for like an usher, and there's this woman, and she was one of the ushers in like a, windbreaker, and she had no
she
hope.
can't handle
She was not, she wasn't a security guard. She was the usher, and she had no chance. And I remember that night, I was like, oh, it was so ugly.
Yeah.
But my point is that, yeah, there's a code of conduct, but there's really only so much any security can do unless you're going to beef up security, which, by the way, I think a few teams have actually done this year.
Really? Yeah. And I've actually thought, too, something's going to happen, whether, it was the Malice at the Palace, but something's going to happen where the proximity of fans to players is going to change at some point in the NBA. I mean, they're right there.
Yeah.
They could reach out and actually touch a player, like and impact, a player or do something. Sort of like remember way back, I'm going back. Monica Seles. Remember that situation?
Mm-hmm.
Guy came out of the stand. And, like there will come a point where I think, fans won't have as much access and proximity to the players.
Yeah. And we don't need to talk about it, but it's very dangerous.
Yes.
Don't want to put any thoughts in anybody's head, but obviously you watch a game and there's not ever enough security right at the moment if something were to happen.
Right. Exactly. You beef it up as best. And, I've talked to the security guards here, and they do a fine job.
My buddy Sean Rogers.
Yeah. Our boy Sean and, some of the other guys, and their head is constantly on a swivel.
Sure.
Like they said, Kyle, all it takes is one, and you just don't know which one. So you got to watch them all. You got to keep an eye on everybody, and their head is constantly on the swivel out here.
I know, because I've known him a long time, and so whether he's on TV or I'm here, sometimes I look at him and I'm watching him, and he's like you say,
he's just
he's not enjoying the game.
Right, it's not right. He's not just sitting back watching the game. No, he's watching everybody in the crowd. Yep.
All right, when we come back, guess what? Yesterday we missed a chance for Drapes to heap praise on his favorite quarterback. So we're going to circle back. Good thing we got Nate running the board.
Yeah,
today,
of course.
Too.
Yeah.
Little Brock Purdy talk.
I'll let
that?
you day. Yeah,
on this?
Let's do it. It's been a while since he lost. I haven't talked about him since that L. So let's do it.
That's next when we return to the Gold One Center. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Jiffy Lube has a special promotion going on right now. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube and receive a $25 e-gift card from popular brands for food, gas, and more. It's that easy. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change and receive a $25 e-gift card. So basically, going to Jiffy Lube can get you a free lunch or a pizza for dinner. That's what we call added value for the consumer. That's why Jiffy Lube is #1 in the greater Sacramento area for oil changes. Visit jiffylube.com for more details and valuable coupons today.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints of the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
It's time to rethink your internet provider. Fidium Fiber Internet is wallet-friendly while delivering the best technology. Get some of the fastest speeds in California and a connection you can count on. Visit FidiumFiber.com today.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Special day coming to you from the Golden One Center. Coming up about half an hour, the great Jerry Reynolds going to join us. Of course, all guests come via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. We're going to talk Brock Purdy in just a little bit. I mean, because he deserves a ton of credit for what he did. He just picked up a little extra cash as well, Drapes.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, and he earned it.
He earned it.
Before we get to that, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Steven has been hanging on to talk with the Drive Guys. Steven, what's up? Thanks for hanging.
Good afternoon, boys. How you guys doing?
Good. What's up, Steven?
Perfect. Dude, Kyle, first off, your Kirkland golf balls, you know they're made by PXG. I don't know if you knew that, but your Kirkland golf balls are made by PXG. I had heard
something like that. Okay.
Yeah. And second of all, this is all golf related, so I'm gonna make this real quick. I work with a 17-year-old kid. Okay, I was talking about golf with him yesterday because I'm a casual golfer. I've been golfing for like 20 years, very, very casually. He's got bad knees, so he's like, "Yeah, I picked up golf 2 years ago. At 15." I'm like, "Oh, good for you, man. Good for you. How you doing nowadays? How you doing?" "Oh, my handicap is 1." I almost had a heart attack. I almost had a flipping heart attack, boys.
That's disgusting.
This kid is 15 years old and picked up golf 2 years ago and has a handicap of 1. And said it with the most confidence I have ever seen a 17-year-old say anything, ever. And I was like, "You're really a 1?" And he confidently was like, "Yeah, I can show you my. I'm going to be in a tournament. He's actually in a tournament today, a 2-day tournament." And yeah, He picked up golf 2 years ago and has a handicap of 1.
Are we talking real golf or like Scandia, Steven? Is he a real golfer or like a
No, real. Like he hits the links. He plays 18, plays a full 18. And I ain't talking about the Mackenzie putting courts either, like a full, real 18, man. So I just wanted to share that with you because you guys are some fellow golfers too, man. I know you guys would understand that. Boy.
Right.
Thank you, Steven.
Oh, thanks, Steven. Yeah. That's hard to fathom and swallow.
That make you feel good about
hard
yourself,
at it, man. It's like, and even my son who's 14, he can outdrive me. Like these kids nowadays, they're smacking the ball too. Mm-hmm. He can outdrive. He just doesn't know the course management very well. But golf is such a thing. It's such a crazy thing because I feel like almost the more you want it, the worse you are. Like you want it so
zen. It's very zen.
It's zen, right? You got to be calm, cool, collected. But I think I'm gripping the club. I'm like, I want this so badly. I'm working so hard, and it's sort of it's just not working out for me, man.
I was talking, as I told you before the show, with RJ. We were talking about golf and how hard it is, and he says, I got a buddy. And he was telling me, the difference between a pro golfer and just a regular golfer. And he says, my friend says, "Oh, I can shoot a 64, but I can't do it every day." And I'm like, wait. You know somebody who can shoot a 64? Yeah.
That's true. That's a true story, huh?
Yeah. RJ, your buddy shoots he can shoot a 64? Has.
Hey,
yeah.
Just one time.
Wait a minute, you're kind of burying the lead there, RJ.
A 64. Yeah. Wow, that's impressive. Anything with an 8 in front of it, I'm happy with. Like those.
Oh, I'm with you.
Anything in the 80s, I'm like, all right, okay. But it's been few and far between for me.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's see. Who do we have? We have Pam. Thank you. Pam, you're with the Drive Guys. What's up?
Hey, I have a couple of questions for you. One, I'm just going to joke with you for a minute because I'm almost 70, but I was a 1, and I'm a 5 right now, and I don't like anything with an 8 in front of it.
Wow, that's impressive. Okay, Pam. Okay.
All right, I just had to make it funny. So I got a question about basketball, but particularly the NC2A women's basketball. I'm also an attorney, and so I decided I'd pull out the NC2A rules to read the rules because I cannot, even though I followed it forever and played a little, figure out what they are calling out there on the floor in the women's game, and particularly as to when they're calling fouls on the bigs versus the guards. And it's gotten to the point where none of, the really good players can't even stay in a game. I happen to be a Stanford fan. Cameron Brink can't even play a game. I mean, she's in foul trouble from the first 5 minutes. Last night, Angel Reese fouled out of the game. That's their big star. Yeah. And it's like any kind of, you could call a basketball foul anytime, almost on any play, because there's always contact. But the way they're calling them right now, it's just so frustrating to even watch. What do you guys think?
I think
you gotta let them play.
Yeah, you gotta let them play. But I think it's very hard to officiate bigs versus the guards. And we see it on the NBA level. With Domantas Sabonis. And he gets battered, bruised, abused, if you will. Doesn't get the foul call. It's sort of like Shaq too back in the day. Like when Shaq fouls somebody, a little guard, it looks much worse than when a regular sized person. And I just think it's hard. And you're right about Cameron Brink. I've been watching her all season long, last couple of years, and one of the game's great players. But I just think her, Angel Reese, they are hard to officiate, hard to guard. And I also believe, Whitey, and I've said this before, when it comes to NBA, like sometimes the officials are just bad. Mm-hmm. They just get calls wrong. And it's such a hard job. You make the call in a split second. You can't say, oh, wait, my bad. I got it. Once you make the call, you got to stick with it. Right or wrong, you got to stick with it. And it's just a hard job for the officials, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if you were suggesting this or not, Pam. So maybe you weren't. But if you were suggesting that they call the women's game differently than the men's game, well, you said you played, so you know how wrong that is. And I know from, coaching in middle school girls, when coaches coach basketball to women or girls, you don't coach it differently. It's like, well, you're a girl, so you don't do this or that. It's not taught differently. Right. It's still basketball, so it has to be officiated the same way.
Yeah, it's still basketball. It has to be officiated. So, and I think, to Pam's point, I think bigs being officiated one way is the same in women versus men too. Like no matter the league, I feel like it's hard to officiate some of the bigger athletes.
Yeah, post play, there's going to be physicality, or else you're not allowing them to play basketball.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and we see it at night in and night out. The question is, and the problem that I have, and we've talked about it, when officials have different levels of physicality that they'll allow. One official will allow this, but the other one does. What's marginal contact? And I think that's where you get into the gray area.
What a great year, though, for women's basketball.
It's been amazing. It's watching Caitlin Clark last night, Angel, it's Paige Beckers. I mean, just all the star power when it comes to women's basketball and the skill level at that. And, and I've always said, and maybe this is controversial, but I've always liked the women's game because I felt they were more skilled basketball players. They didn't rely on athleticism as much or dunking, their dribble, their form when shooting, everything is on point. And I've enjoyed watching this tournament this year. Yeah.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Pam. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Real quick here, we have to applaud Brock Purdy. Missed this yesterday because we were so involved with the Kings. The NFL compensated players here as part of their performance-based pay distribution.
Yeah.
They gave compensated players with an additional $393.8 million in performance-based pay for this season. This program compensates players based on their playing time and salary levels. They want to give additional money to players who performed beyond their contracts.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy gets an extra $739,795.
So he almost doubles.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Get a bonus that nearly doubles your salary.
Yeah, that's 75.1% of his base salary that he made in 2023.
And well deserved, though. Brock Purdy had a hell of a season. I'm not going to bash Brock or anything. This is not the time for that, Whitey. He led the squad to the Super Bowl. He had an MVP caliber season. He well outperformed his contract.
Yes.
Yes, well deserved.
Yes. The additional check for him, that's 24th largest payout this year. How about this? Former Ravens guard, a guy named John Simpson.
Yeah.
He got a payout of $974,613.
Wow.
That nearly doubled his salary after playing last season on a 1-year minimum contract of $1.01 million.
That's sweet. That is sweet. Congrats. Did you hear about Aaron Rodgers? How much he got paid out?
How much?
$84, I think it was. Because he only played in one snap.
That's brutal, right?
So $84, Aaron Rodgers got
good for
paid out.
him.
That's good for him, right?
Nice. Nice. Simpson, by the way, he signed a 2-year deal with the Jets in March with Aaron Rodgers' team, so he could earn up to $18 million. And then we know that, Nate knows as well as anybody, Brock Purdy, pretty soon, a couple years, he's going to be making a lot.
Yes, you're going to have to open up the checkbook for him.
He's got that.
Get rid of some players, some talent.
Yeah.
That Toyota deal.
Working together. Yeah. On the day when he becomes the highest paid quarterback in NFL history.
He might. And he's like a college athlete working on NIL right now. Like his endorsement money is more than his salary in the NFL. He's like got an NIL deal going right now.
Yep. When we come back, we'll take a glance at Domas's all-league chances. Some voters on the NBA all-league teams there. They're sharing their ballots. Interesting. We'll take a look at those when we come back to the Golden One Center. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The final game of the homestand concludes Tuesday as the Los Angeles Clippers pay a visit to Golden One Center and the Sacramento Kings.
Sabonis rolling in the paint, eludes a defender, and a two-hand flush is thrown down off the dribble.
Catch all the play-by-play starting at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids gummies help relieve occasional stomach upsets, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids gummies. Fast support for little tummies.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company. And that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777. 7777.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Fidium Fiber, Dawson Oil Company, and Good Guys Heating and Cooling.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports. The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Big night here at the Golden One Center, even bigger than we realized because as you arrive, depending on when you get in today, if you were in here now, you'd see on the huge video board that this is a rivalry game on top of everything else going on, top of everything else at stake, Kyle. Clippers, Kings, I didn't realize. Rivalry game.
Where you been at? Of course, man. It's a long-standing rivalry. This goes back all of what? A year? You know,
this goes back to when the Clippers were the Buffalo Braves and the Kings were in Kansas City.
Yes. Maybe that's what they're talking about, you know? Who knew? Like, you know, we've been played the Warriors all season long. The Lakers have come through. But this is the one.
Yes.
This is what we call a rivalry. Okay?
Players can be surprised when they come out on the floor and look up and go, whoa, I didn't realize.
I had no idea.
Right,
right?
Yeah. We're going to get to what some voters are saying here about Domas's all-league chances in just a moment. Interesting look as some voters sharing their ballots, at least what those ballots look like now. Before we get to that, on the YouTube chat here, we have from Compio, it's close to 3 p.m. Grandpa Whitey needs to take a snap in his rocket ship. I'd get mad about that, but you're too close to the truth, Compio. Thank you. Rajakov, he says, Kyle, he or she, I'm not sure. Kyle, when are you going to start calling games again? I miss you there.
Oh, thank you so much. Tonight, big fella.
Yeah.
I'm on the call tonight. Big game. They're like, we need big game drapes in the building. And so I'm calling tonight's game against the Clippers. Let's go.
And, you know, we talked to Steven about the 17-year-old with a one handicap. Manny Tulajets says, Steven, I met that guy.
Yeah, see, that's what I like, man. Our listeners are like a small community.
Yes.
You know, they know each other. They're loyal friends. They're, you know, Manny and Compio, they're always on here. Ryan Williams Art, they're always on listening. And so I appreciate our listeners. Man.
Yeah, and Curtis, as far as Westbrook goes, he says, you can say brick and stuff like that, but getting personal, talking about physical attributes, way too far.
Yeah, anything personal. I mean, we've had that conversation about Westbrook, and we know he hates it. Well, you know, it's just sports are like a gladiator kind of thing, right? It's like,
yeah, they really are.
It really is. And, you know, especially when the alcohol is flowing too, sometimes fans go a little too far.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just reminded of the fan a couple of years ago when you say the alcohol is flowing and they're going a little too far. Yeah. I'm sorry. That just came to mind. All right. We have 3 NBA writers who presumably have votes when it comes to the all-league honors. They're sharing their ballots. Also have a couple guys on NBA.com are doing the same thing today. So would you like to hear where they have Domas?
Yes, I would love to. Yeah.
Okay, the 3 athletic writers, we have Kelly. Is it Kelly Iko?
Yeah, that's about right.
He has Domas second team all-league. Josh Robbins has Domas second team all-league.
There you go.
William Guillory does not name Domas first, second, or third team all-NBA.
Do we know who he has?
Well, he has AD, I believe. So you don't have to do it by positions.
That's AD, and he's not doing it by.
Well, I don't think you have to now, do you? So
I thought you did actually.
Okay. Well, anyway, I can look it up for you here, but he does not. That's one guy of the 3 who does not have Domas first, second, or third team.
Okay.
NBA.com, Steve Ashburner has Domas third team all NBA. And again, these guys say, look, you know, I'm going to wait and see how the season ends, but this is how it would look right now. A guy named Brian Martin has Domas third team all league. John Schumann has Domas third team all league. Michael C. Wright has Domas second team all league. And did we talk to Sean Powell? Did we have him on?
We did have Sean Powell on, a friend of show. Yes.
Well, not anymore.
He doesn't have Domas.
Does not have Domas.
What?
As an all-league player, first, second, or third team.
What?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I got to look this up then because I thought you did have to do positions, but maybe not. Let me look this up really quickly because I think, when you look at it, and I've said it before, I think Domas has been the second best center in the entire NBA, and so I think for him to not even be on there, like who else would you put? And then if it's just front court and back court, then it gets dicey. Then, you could throw in, the Tatums of the world, LeBron, Durant, then it gets dicey. But I didn't think, I really thought it was still position wise. And so I need to look that up.
Okay. I think one of the reasons they changed it, if I'm right, is because
no longer have positional requirements. Yeah.
Last year, some of the voters, I guess, looked at it, or maybe it was the players union. I don't know. And they said, wait a minute, Embiid and Jokic.
Right.
Two great players, but they couldn't both be first team all league. And a lot of people thought that was
and I think Jokic was first team, but Embiid was MVP. It was kind of weird. Yeah. And I'm looking at CBS Sports right now and to see where they have Domas. I'm looking at the second team. Wow.
There's obviously some great players that we're talking about.
Steph Curry on third team, Halliburton, Edwards, Rudy Gobert, and Anthony Davis. Come on now. What are we doing? This is ridiculous. And this is an old story about a month ago, but Rudy Gobert over Domantas Sabonis, and they got Domas in the hunt was their last one. I don't see how so
you want to know your Sean Powell, you want to know who he has?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
Because if I'm correct, based on this, you got to have a total of 9 front court players ahead of Domas if he's not on first, second, or third. So what do you got?
Sean Powell, first team, Giannis, Luka, Shea, Jokic, and Tatum. Second team, Brunson, Curry, Davis, Durant, Ant-Man. Third team, Booker, Jaylen Brown, Halliburton, LeBron, and Kawhi Leonard.
That's not good. First of all, the Steph Curry thing, second team for Steph Curry.
Right. That sounds that's a scholarship.
Yeah, that's a lifetime achievement award or something like that.
Maybe we can get him on again and talk him out of before he actually votes.
So all right. See, that's where it gets tricky for Domantas Sabonis then, because now you're throwing in all the forwards. And did he have who was his third team again? Why do you got it right there?
Yes, I do. Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Halliburton, LeBron, and Kawhi Leonard. And here's another one. This is John Schumann. He's got Domantas third team with Curry, Gobert, Halliburton, and LeBron. Second team is Brunson, Davis, Durant, Edwards, Kawhi. First team is Giannis, Luka, Shea, Jokic, and Tatum, which that's pretty much looks like that's going to be
that's going to be first team. Yeah, all those guys are going to be first team. I just if he doesn't make All NBA, my whole thing is always, all right, who you going to take off? Do you take off Kawhi this year? Anthony Davis, LeBron? How can, in my opinion, the second best center not be an All NBA? And maybe it's just the way the game is now. It's more of a perimeter-oriented game. But I think that would be criminal. That would be blasphemous. That would be worse than the All-Star snub, I think. All NBA? This guy is in the category of Wilt Chamberlain, and he's not being recognized for it. And these are people that have votes, too. That's what scares me.
Yeah, exactly.
These aren't just random yahoos. These guys actually have a say in this, and that bothers me.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find, let's see, this William Guillory, the Athletic. First team, Jokic, Shea, Giannis, Luka, Tatum. Okay, second team, Ant-Man, Brunson, Kawhi, Anthony Davis, Durant. Third team, he's got Halliburton, Curry, Maxey, Brown, and Zion Williamson.
Zion ahead of him.
Really? Domas. But most of the voters / writers sharing their ballots, the majority of them have Domas at least third team. The majority of them.
Oh, my gosh. So I'm on SI. Oh, wait, no, this is a fan-run site. I was about to say they had Victor Wembanyama third team, and I'm like, what are we doing here? What's going on? I do think Domas is probably going to get fleeced again. Get snubbed again, which is It's unbelievable.
I think I would feel like if he makes third team, that's an accomplishment, but I would still feel like he deserves second team.
I think exactly. And, it's tough, like we said, because it's no longer by position. That makes it more difficult. That brings in the Kawhis of the world. And where do they list Jaylen Brown? Jaylen Brown's a forward now listed. And so I think it's tough, but I still think no matter what, he should be there, in my opinion.
Don't you think that we have to get inside the heads of the voters too, or try to? If you have a voter who already, maybe even subconsciously, they're predispositioned not to give the Kings credit. Okay, that person, that voter, is less likely to go Domas if they end up playing poorly down the stretch and are just in the play-in. Whereas if they play great and they're one of the top 6, it's like, well, then you'd have to presumably give him a ton of credit for that.
Yeah, and I feel like, to that point, people are looking for reasons not to include Domas. The fact that they aren't a top 16.
Right.
See, that's why I didn't, that's their reasoning. Yeah, you're right about that. So it's, hey, all he can do is just keep doing his thing, man. I mean, the records that he's putting up, and night in and night out. Let me ask you this real quickly here. Let's say Anthony Davis is a center. Is Domas having a better season than Anthony Davis?
Yes.
Okay. Bam. There you go.
Don't you think so?
I agree. I mean, it could be argued.
It
could be argued. Davis is scoring more, but Domas is rebounding more. Domas is assisting more.
And Domas is every night.
Every night. I will say AD has only missed like 3 or 4 games. Like he's been out there,
but he's been more up and down, I would say, than Domas has been.
Yeah, exactly.
His highs have been higher, but his lows have been
low. And that, that's what frustrates me, because out of all the all NBA stuff that you just read me, a lot of those guys have Anthony Davis on there.
Yes,
not Domantas Sabonis.
Notice that. Yeah. My hope is that if Domas doesn't make one of the all league teams, that our next guest will lead us all in a march on league offices. We'll ask him if he'll do that when Jerry Reynolds joins us next. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Heard the catchphrase that's sweeping the nation?
Jackson, Hugh, yeah.
People are saying Jackson, Hugh, yeah to Jackson Hewitt because they love saving money on tax prep. Do you love saving money? Then switch to Jackson Hewitt today and pay less than last year. Thousands of people have already made the switch. Why haven't you? Stop waiting and start filing. You won't get a better deal or a better catchphrase. All together now.
Jackson Hugh, yeah!
Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Graves Whiting coming to you from, of course, the Golden One Center. We were just taking a look at how the voting is apparently going for all league teams. Domas looks like he's in pretty good shape, but there are a few potential voters who are not listing him on any of their all league teams. If Domas misses out on all league honors, will our next guest lead us all in a march on league offices? Let's find out. Nice enough to join us once again. All-time Kings icon, the great Jerry Reynolds. How are you, Jerry?
Oh, pretty good, Grandpa. So there's that, Yeah, I was listening to you and Kyle, and the thing I would say, I just kind of like you guys were talking about. To me, they've got to have 3 teams with 3 centers. It's just not fair to centers. I mean, I think with the rules of the game today, I mean, if there's ever a position that's being underappreciated, it's a center position. So, but yeah, I certainly think Domas deserves it. Whether it's second or third team, I wouldn't get into argument about it, but his numbers speak for themselves, and then once you get past his numbers, there's nobody in the league that plays as hard as he does every night, every minute, every play. There just isn't.
Jerry Reynolds joining us here on The Drive, guys, the legend himself. Jerry, let's talk about this current iteration of the Sacramento Kings. It was a rough week last week. The loss of Herter, Malik Monk, that news came out, and then the 2 losses to Dallas. As a coach, when you lose star players like that, key members of your team, what's your message to the rest of the squad? Are you looking for one guy to step it up? Are you looking for the team as a collective to step it up? What's your message as a coach?
Well, let's just not show up. We'll pack it in. We'll wager white flag.
All right, we're done.
Since I never had a star, so in the league of stars. But anyway, yeah. Well, I mean, it is the old next man up. There's no doubt about it. And Mike Brown, I think, does good. He's getting guys playing hard and playing together, and so the loss of Herter, hurt them, but it wasn't as bad. They could sort of make up for that with certainly Davion and certainly Keon Ellis, but I think also the loss of Lyles hurt them really more than people realized. But Glenn Monk, I mean, no one player can make up for Malik Monk. I mean, the bottom line is he's the third best player on the team.
Yeah. The great Jerry Reynolds joining us, and thank you for the grandpa crack, Jerry. I do appreciate that. Now, not making excuses, but how much fun has it been for you to have this team playing meaningful games in April 2 years in a row? And I know that people had high expectations this year, and I get that. And right now there's a lot of uncertainty, but these games matter, and it's 2 years in a row. And for those of us who have been around the Kings for a long time, I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is very cool. I really enjoy this team. I mean, I know they've had games where I didn't enjoy them. I'm not going to say that. You guys sat through the same games I have. But, I mean, it's a good team. It's a winning team. They've got some top-flight players, well coached. I mean, the West is just so good. And it's one of those things I'm not really surprised. Quite honestly, I thought looking at the talent in the West, if other teams were healthy, I thought the Kings would have a tough time, certainly staying in the top four. And I thought they had a chance at 6. Of course, they still do. But I mean, just the talent level, I mean, especially like Dallas at the deadline added 2 starters. And Phoenix added a key guy, Royce O'Neal. And so, that's tough. That's tough.
Jerry, one of the things here we are, sitting on 43 wins. And, we've talked all season long about how, yes, last year they were the 3 seed, made it to the playoffs. But, it's not linear, the growth of a team. And we look at Denver and, how they, sort of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 step, and then they finally got over the hump. Speak to just the journey of trying to craft a championship team and how really each season it's its own individual thing.
Yeah, I can really make a good case. I always remember 1998, 99, I think it was the first year the Kings really became good with Jason Williams and Webb and Divac and those guys. The team was in a lockout season. It was 27-23 and played the great Utah Jazz team at that time too. It was a 5-game series, but right to the wire and had a short bloody hook to finish them, but he missed it. And so there's that. So the next season, the team was actually better, probably, but won 44 games, probably a little disappointing, and then got swept by the Lakers in 4 straight.
Wow.
And so, fans were a little down, but it was part of the process. And the next year, a few additions and subtractions, and the team won 55. and then, of course, had about 5 years in the 50s after that, or even 61 year, 61. So, but to your point, Kyle, you're exactly right. It's a process. You know, you can't know what you need until you go through it, and then the experience of going through it, you know, makes you aware of what guys, you know, are guys that you want to continue with and build around.
Jerry Reynolds, our guest here. You know, Jerry, without Malik, the Kings came at the Jazz with a very balanced attack Sunday. Harrison Barnes says, you know, they need to trust the pass and trust the movement and the offense going forward, which I understand. But how much tougher is it to do that against a team like the Clippers tonight?
Well, it would be a lot tougher if Kawhi Leonard plays. I guess somebody also were supposedly out tonight, which is great.
Yes. He's out.
One of the 3 or 4 makers in the league. So him healthy, like Adetokounmpo or Jokic or LeBron, I think. You know, he's that category because he changes the game on both ends. And so at least, you know, there is that. They can't replace him. And in my mind, the Kings, it's you know, they got to come out and just play as aggressive as they can. Take their, you know, you hope they're making their threes and, you know, get the ball moving. You know, get the ball moving, kind of stay away from over-dribbling, which we see a little bit at times. So just stay away from it. I think they'll have a chance, a good chance.
Hey, Jerry, when you look at, you know, the Kings and the makeup of the team, and, you know, I was obviously heartbroken over Friday's loss to the Dallas Mavericks. And I said on the post-game show, our stars have to play like stars. In the NBA, to advance, to be a good team, to be a great team, and specifically here in Sacramento, do we need Fox and Sabonis to be stars every night?
Yes, I think so. Yes, Kyle, very good point. Yes, they do.
I know what I'm talking about, Jerry. I know a little bit about basketball. I know what I'm talking about here.
Oh, you do. I'm becoming a fan of you. So,
thank you.
And so, yeah, it's a star league. You know, I mean, the teams that win big have some of the best players in the league on their team. It's been that way throughout history. And sadly, I know about history. You know, I remember Oscar Robertson and Jerry Lucas, like that.
Yeah, I mean, I got an update on Jerry Lucas today, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I
I've been trying to track down Jerry Lucas. But speaking of stars, Jerry, this is an opportunity once again for Keegan, right? We saw it against the Jazz. There should be more shots available. Mike Brown keeps telling him, be aggressive, and now be more aggressive than we told her to be already. There's an opportunity, though, isn't there, for Keegan Star to really rise in the last 8 games of the regular season?
There is, and, you know, he needs to grasp it, and certainly his teammates need to look for him more, help him. You know, I mean, the guy he does have the talent to be that third guy. He could, you know, at this stage of the season, he's capable of being an 18 to 20 point guy every night. And that's what they need. You know, I mean, you don't have Monk. So really, I think he in particular is the key guy. And I mean, it's great to see Harrison Barnes being more aggressive too. I think both those guys can make a difference. So yeah, it really is a case where Keegan, I think, has the ability, you know, to do some things, more things, just as with his skill set. And, you know, he's a guy who just keeps getting better and better. I just think he's terrific. I think he'll, you know, like I've said many times, his first 2 years, he's been better than Peja Stojakovic was. I don't know if he's going to be better in year 5, but he might be. But just at some point, you got to give him his due. The guy, he was a great pick, and there's nothing not to like about him. You know, I always go say though, I hear people criticize the Keegan. They'll say, "Well, he doesn't show any emotion." Oh, I said, well, then you wouldn't have liked Tim Duncan much.
Yeah, you're right about that. All he did was give you buckets and give you rebounds and block shots and win titles. And
yeah. No, you got to pound your chest after every shot and pull your jersey and all that.
Right.
Well, some guys don't really have to do that.
No, you're right. Hey, Jerry, are you a fan of the play-in tournament? Right now, the Kings are in 8th spot. And what do you think about the play-in and the difference between being a top 6 team or having to be in a play-in to go against a Phoenix maybe or a Lakers or a Golden State? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I was certainly against the play-in originally, but I actually like it a lot. The one-game kind of scenario and certainly in the West with all the good teams. And then keep in mind, the Lakers were in the play-in last year and went to the Western Finals, and the Heat were in the play and went to the NBA Finals. So there is a pathway. There's so much balance in the league. It's really kind of who gets a hot hand and is healthy, probably as much as anything in the playoffs. So you'd rather be sixth in the top 6. But doesn't mean you can't get it done. And it's not like I always say with the Kings, as frustrated as sometimes we all get, they've got a winning record against the top 3 teams in the West. So there is that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's always Jerry Reynolds for us whenever we ask. Jared, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Great catching up with you. We appreciate your insight, and we'll talk to you again real soon, sir.
Well, enjoyed it, and bring home the win, guys. Let's get it done.
You got it.
We'll do our part. That's for sure.
Right.
Yes.
Thanks, Jerry. Oh, yes. Yeah.
All right, Jerry.
Take care, Coach. We always appreciate it very, very much. Kings icon, Jerry Reynolds. Yeah, he mentioned Jerry Lucas, and I do a Jerry Lucas update before we're done today. When we come back, speaking of the play-in thing, can the Kings climb out of the play-in? And another reason why coming out of the play-in gets a little tricky, Kyle. We'll have that when we come back to the Golden One Center on Sactown Sports.
The final game of the homestand concludes Tuesday as the Los Angeles Clippers pay a visit to Golden One Center and the Sacramento Kings.
It's fourth quarter Fox time. He's doubled, throws a pass cross court to Keegan, steps to his left, launches a 3. He's got the triple. It's the 4th one from downtown in 5 attempts by Keegan Murray. And the Kings have tied it at 101.
Catch all the play-by-play starting at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Sunny skies expected, light south winds, and afternoon highs today will peak in the upper 70s. Expect overnight lows down to the upper 40s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop.
Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf.com's Alan Bastable offers 8 sneaky ways for stubbornly average players to break 80. First, play sensible tees. Hitting 7 and 8 irons into greens instead of hybrids give chances at 4s and 3s. Check the par. There's no shame in doing so on a par 70 course. 3, check the forecast. A day after rain can mean soft greens. 4, avoid big numbers. It's not the bogeys that will derail a 79. It's a couple of bigger scores. 5, you got to believe. Give yourself a pep talk and temper the feelings of gloom. 6, keep like-minded company. If you're a grinder, play with fellow grinders, or play with music, or gamble if that's your game. 7, a little luck helps. Even tour players recognize luck. 8, don't obsess over, well, breaking 80. You're going to know if you have a good round going, so have your partner keep score. At the 18th tee, ask where you stand, as it may affect the way you approach the hole. Sounds simple, huh? Now go out and do it. And have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
If you've got weak Wi-Fi, it's time to rethink your internet provider. Fidium Fiber's dedicated connection offers tons of bandwidth, and whole home Wi-Fi lets you seamlessly connect all your devices all at the same time. Visit fidiumfiber.com today.
Once upon a time, you could get a heater tune-up or an air conditioner tune-up for just $59, or both for $89. Not too hot, not too cold, just right.
I thought you were going to read me a bedtime story.
Go to sleep now. Bonnie.com. License 696-355.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Well, the pressure's on now. Jerry Reynolds, Kings icon, telling us to bring home the win tonight, Drapes. I know you got a lot on your plate, doing the game and everything, but now we've got that on our shoulders. Jerry Reynolds is expecting us to bring home a win tonight.
Oh yeah, we'll bring our A game. We'll be fired up. We'll be ready. I am a little nervous, though. I'm a little worried because I was just downstairs, went and got some popcorn, got a drink. Russell Westbrook walked into the building, focused, headphones on. Like, what's up, Russ? Straight ahead. Didn't break stride. And so he looks locked in. I just saw him like 30 seconds ago.
That's because someone told him it was a rivalry game.
Right? Why is he here so early, though? It's 3:30.
I don't know.
That's pretty early, right?
I remember one time in the old building, there was a benefit, like some sort of charity basketball game, and it was media people against, I think, like firefighters.
Okay.
And we're playing really early, about this time.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't very good. And Karl Malone was there because they were playing the Jazz.
Oh.
Karl Malone comes out, and he's watching. And I remember looking over and seeing Karl Malone, and he's just like, shaking his head like, no, that's not how you do it.
Really? Oh, really? Did you try to get out of your did you try to show off? And
I didn't.
the hand on the
I was like, I gotta get
shot?
my bag. Where's my bag? I don't have a
You didn't
bag.
have a bag with you?
Mailman, I don't have a bag.
Oh man, that's
But
funny.
yeah, that is pretty early for
Yeah,
us,
it
huh?
is really early. 3:30.
Wonder if we'll see him out here first chance.
Yeah,
he
he'll
gets.
probably might be the first one. Kyrie was early last week too. Kyrie was out here at like 3:45 or so warming up. I know he's routinely early, but Russ is in the building. He's ready.
I think we decided yesterday that if the Kings do end up like 7th, I mean, obviously we still want them to finish out of the play-in. That would be great, and it's an achievable goal. But if they finish 7th, we'd probably feel okay about that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Uh-huh.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, here's another thing that makes the play-in tricky, and I'd forgotten about this, but it's just obviously the math of it. The play-in is the 16th through the 19th, and then the playoffs start on the 20th. So I know last year they gave teams that played right on the last day of the play-in, they gave them a day, but then you start the playoffs. Like, you're in the play-in, and then
too.
you have a day to travel, then you start the playoffs.
Yeah. But, maybe that's a good thing. You look at the Miami Heat. They lost their first game, won their second, and then they just kept going.
And they went to Milwaukee and they won the first game of that series.
Exactly. You're in a rhythm. You don't have a week off to get out of rhythm or something like that. And so hopefully the Kings can catch some momentum here and get going. I mean, but they still can get the 6 seed, right?
Yes.
You're talking play-in, and that has not been decided as of yet.
Well, things worked out the way you wanted then, right? Because Phoenix, and I said, I want the Pelicans to win. But the Suns took care of the Pelicans, so that did bring the Pelicans back a little closer to the Kings.
Yeah, exactly. And you still play them. And I understand the tiebreakers is what it is. But right now, you're a game and a half behind the Pelicans. You win tonight, that'll be a game behind the Pelicans. And you still have one more against them. And so I think, the Mavericks might not be the team we're trying to catch here. They're playing extremely well. And, obviously they have a tough game tonight against Golden State. But, the Pelicans might be the team we'll be able to catch. They have the tiebreaker. That's the thing that hurts. So really,
they have it many times over.
Yeah, many times. Like they can lose the next 2, the next 3, and still have it. Think about that. Like they beat you 4 times this season. But no, I think the 6th spot is still in play. You just got to play your best basketball of the season right now, man. You can't lose. The margin for error is 0. Right now, if you're Sacramento.
Yeah, so you got the Clippers tonight, then you go on the road, you got the Knicks in Boston. That's a back-to-back, right?
Yeah.
Then you play, that's Thursday, Friday, then Sunday at Brooklyn. That's a winnable game. Yeah.
Yes.
Then you got to go finish up the road trip at OKC. Then you come back home, and then New Orleans, Phoenix at home. But those are also, isn't that also a back-to-back?
Yeah, that's a Thursday, Friday back-to-back.
Then you got Sunday to wrap up the regular season with Portland. So it's not an easy stretch there, but there's a few wins in there at least.
Yeah.
And that's why, like you said, they really, really need to win tonight.
Right. You got to win tonight. And I'm looking at this Pelicans schedule. They got one against Phoenix still. So, one of those games will help you, whether Phoenix losing or Pelicans losing, that'll help you out. They have one against the Lakers, one against the Warriors, but they have the 21st most difficult schedule. And so I think if you're Sacramento, man, you just got to, I hate to say win out, because that's a difficult task. But
why not?
You got Knicks and Boston. At worst, I need 6-2 out of this team to finish out this season.
Yesterday, when you were talking about the importance of this game, and you talked about, well, if you don't win this, that's the most. I don't want to say negative because you were just being realistic, but that's the first time I've heard you be that realistic about the Kings. Let me put it that way.
You know what my problem is, and I gotta. Give my guys more credit. I'm not optimistic about New York and Boston. That back-to-back. That back-to-back scares me. And so that's why I say this game is so important. If you win tonight and lose the next 2, it hurts, no doubt about it, But then you could beat Brooklyn. You've beaten OKC. I think when you look at the schedule, the New York-Boston back-to-back, that's arguably the toughest 2 games in a row that you'll have the entire season. Hey, lunch is served, big fella. Lunch is served. Tell Selena thank you. Lunch is served. RJ was like, where's it at? What's going on here? Thank you.
Yeah, I knew you had you. You're checking for something. Looking for the screen.
I know,
like, where's
right?
the screen coming? Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. But yeah, it's so I'm not optimistic about that Thursday, Friday East Coast matchup with the Knicks in Boston.
What do you think of this from your boy Compio on the chat? Keegan is the key. Take his shot, score the basketball, 23 to 29 points a game. Step up and be, in caps, the man. 23 to 29 a game.
I'll take that. That's all-star caliber then. But he's the number 4 pick. And the thing about Keegan too, he scores without really, how should I put this, breaking a sweat. He can get points pretty quickly.
Catch and shoot, even on his drives, like catch and then zoom,
right,
gone.
Exactly. It's not like he has to work hard, get in his bag or anything like that. And 2 defenders he got to weave past. I think ultimately with Keegan, it's just being aggressive, man, getting the shots up, not blending in, not just standing in the corner. Be aggressive, get the shots up. So Compio says 23 to 29 points a game. I think he could do that if he takes 50.
You're going higher? You're going higher than that?
For tonight? Or just
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
I'm not going
you
there.
tell me.
But how about this, Whitey? You take 15 shots. Let's say you hit 9 of them. A couple of them threes.
Yes.
You got 21. Get to the foul line 6 times. Then, man, you're at what Compio is talking about. And so it can be done. Keegan just has to be aggressive.
Here's one of the things I'm watching for the rest of the way. we know that Malik was having a great year. But there were times this offense kind of had a split personality. They'd run the offense, especially last year it was true. You'd see him run the offense through Domas for 3 quarters, and then it was Fox time in the 4th quarter. This year, sometimes it was Fox time, sometimes it was Malik time, because those guys would look around and recognize, I'm going to have to get this done. But they would tend to be a little ball dominant. And I'm not saying they're selfish, but the offense would shift from passing movement to sometimes Malik, sometimes De'Aaron, being a little over dribbling at times or just dribbling the ball a lot. Now, with Malik out, I think it's going to be more reliant on the player movement, ball movement, and I think as a result, Keegan is going to just naturally have an opportunity to take more shots.
Yeah, you're right, and because Keegan's not Malik or not De'Aaron. You know, he's not going to catch the ball and, like we said, try and go one-on-one a whole lot. Now he doesn't have to stand and watch those guys late in the 4th quarter. And it's something Harrison Barnes talked about yesterday in the sound that we ran. The offense, you know, they're going to rely on the offense a lot more now and not just the individual talent. And hopefully, you know, Keegan will be the beneficiary of that. We saw that the other day, him and HB.
Yeah.
You know, more opportunities.
When we come back, how the Kings were, how about this? They were actually bit players in the whole Jontay Porter thing. Tell you how next. With the Drive guys. So we get ready for the rivalry matchup tonight. The Kings and the Clippers from the Golden One Center on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear through the night tonight with lows near 50. During the day tomorrow, we'll see partly cloudy skies, a little breezy with highs in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
Once upon a time, you could get a heater tune-up or an air conditioner tune-up for just $59, or both for $89. Not too hot, not too cold, just right.
I thought you were going to read me a bedtime story.
Go to sleep now. Bonnie.com. License 696-355.
If you're in the market for a new or used car right now, or if you just want to go see like what new technologies in the new cars nowadays, stop by and see my friends at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall before you go anywhere else. As soon as you step onto the lot, you're going to feel like family. You're going to know why they have so many 5-star reviews at Elk Grove Kia and why they're the #1 Sacramento Kia dealer. Like, I love this 5-star review right here. Quote, "I could not be happier. My husband surprised me with my new Telluride. I love it. The staff is friendly, kind, and conscious. Took their time to find the perfect car. Thank you guys for the hard work. Great job. I love my new Telly." There you go. That's just another satisfied customer at Elk Grove Kia. So in addition to all the 5-star reviews, the finance team at Elk Grove Kia has over 100 years combined experience. You know what that means? Financing for everyone. And we know going to the car dealership can be overwhelming, but come experience Elk Grove Kia. They go above and beyond to make sure this is an automotive adventure for you. Check out what's on special and what's on the lot today at elkgrovekea.com, or better yet, come see everything in person at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home, and the men who use PTO to catch afternoon basketball in March with the boys. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you Visit Cintas.com
Oh, I'm ready!
and get ready for the workday.
Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I get a lot of compliments from my friends about my new EQS SUV. Mercedes has proven that electric cars can be gorgeous and stylish. My EQS is the finest vehicle I've ever had. And some of my friends have even asked, what's it really like to have an electric Mercedes? Is it easy to own and operate? Is it easy to charge? Well, it's as easy as owning a regular gas guzzler, except you never have to put gas in it. And I never stress about battery charging. It's got a long range, so no problem there. And it's easy to charge. You just plug it in, and that's it. Right now, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is offering up to $19,000 in Mercedes-Benz incentives on select new vehicles and certified pre-owned Mercedes vehicles, as low as 1.99% APR for qualified buyers. So head on out to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. It's just a half hour from Sacramento, right off I-5, or online anytime at mbfstockton.com.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Just want to update you on what's going on baseball-wise for Sacramento. According to this, you say this Carmichael Dave guy is a reliable source on Twitter?
I don't know about that. I need to check his references, check his sources. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, well, take this with a grain of salt if you think that's prudent. But Carmichael Dave reporting that Oakland and the A's still quite a ways apart. Oakland and the A's met today. They meet with Sacramento tomorrow, tweets Dave. All signs point to a deal being struck and an announcement either end of week or early next week. Again, that's according to Sactown Sports' Carmichael Dave.
And we're not sure when he says a deal being struck, if that means with Sacramento or with Oakland, right?
I think it's implied that it's here,
Sacramento,
that it's with
right?
Sacramento.
Buckle up, I say.
Uh-huh.
This could be a very interesting week, and as we say that, there's your guy, Russell Westbrook.
Uh-huh, you're right.
First one on the floor.
Uh-huh.
Man.
He's ready.
He's ready. He's locked in. He's focused. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of those guys, guys get, and certainly, being a grandfather, I know, get a little older. It takes you a little longer to get everything loose, huh? Remember you were doing one of the shows from L.A. and you're LeBron's out there already.
Yeah, it was like 3:30 or so.
Yeah.
Like right now. And he was out there. I was like, my gosh, that's super early. Like, how do you warm up and then how do you get yourself warm again for game time?
Uh-huh.
This is his routine, I guess.
One more quick baseball note.
Yeah.
You being a TV guy, maybe you heard about this. I'd never heard of this before. Last night the Giants played the Dodgers, and the Dodgers cuffed them around pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night, the Dodgers were on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, and they had Kike Hernandez. He had a microphone on, so I believe he's playing third base, and he's doing an interview. Well, that was fine, except he also had the pitch comm speaker on because, the fielders want to know what pitch is coming. But a viewer noticed that as he was talking, you could hear what pitch was coming.
No
through
way.
his speaker.
Oh, my God.
And someone's like, hey, you got to stop the interview. Now, I don't know if it timed out, because sometimes that's on a delay.
Right.
So I don't know if literally the Cardinals could have been in the dugout watching TV going, hey, curveball. I don't know.
No
But,
way.
yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That's the worst, right? You would think that'd be something they checked on beforehand or something like they thought about. Man, that's crazy.
It's just funny because, of course, that's the whole reason why they have pitch comp to prevent that from happening.
Right, so you don't tip those off. Instead, it's being broadcast to the world.
Yeah, I think somebody on Twitter is like, stop the interview! Stop the interview! But I guess nothing came of it. So Giants and Dodgers again tonight. I mentioned Jontay Porter.
Yeah.
Did you know that the Kings, maybe you did this game. Did you do the game March 20th, the Kings and the Raptors?
Was that? Did we have, is that game?
That was there, I think. Wasn't it?
I was there.
Yeah. Well, the Kings played they played a bit part in this whole thing. January 3rd, Porter made his Raptors debut. He played 7 minutes.
Yeah.
He scored no points, right? 3 rebounds.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Nothing to notice there. 3 weeks later, game against the Clippers, January 26th. The betting activity on prop bets involving him, specific player stats, rebounds, threes, spiked. Bettors were taking the under on his props to a degree that DraftKings flagged the irregularities, according to ESPN. In some cases, 5-figure wagers were placed on Porter props.
Wow. Okay.
He then left that game just 4 minutes in, citing the re-aggravation of an eye injury.
Right? Yeah.
He apparently suffered in the game prior. January 26th, the under on 3-pointers made by Porter was the biggest moneymaker of the night for DraftKings bettors. March 20th against the Kings, similar thing happened with Porter bets on DraftKings. There was irregular activity. Large amounts of money were wagered, and Porter, once again, scoreless, left the game early with an illness.
I do remember him leaving the game early. Yes, I do remember that. And I think we announced it right after halftime that Jontay Porter.
Yeah,
Wow.
effectively guaranteeing a win for anyone who took an under on him. In the games under investigation, Porter did not crack 8 minutes once. He has been out for personal reasons why the investigation continues. So why was this so irregular? For a player's prop bets to pay out, the player must enter the game. And in the games under investigation, the sizes of some of the prop bets attempted on Porter suggested people may have been extremely confident that they would hit.
Right.
It's like, wait, why are people betting all this money on this guy on the under?
Why bet on him at all? Like even $1. Like, who would think Jontay Porter? Ooh, that's a good. I don't know. Like, how does he come? Yeah, and so and like you said, DraftKings said it was their biggest moneymaker that night. Like the biggest payout, cash out of the night. Yeah, that's fishy, big time. Big time.
Oh yeah. So one of the questions now is, well, okay, who is placing these bets? And that's not clear yet, but it looks like it was kind of unsophisticated. In other words, according to this story, if it was, say, organized crime or whoever, they'd be a little more subtle about it.
Right.
This was somebody who didn't realize if you bet like that, people are going to notice it, and it's going to get flagged. So some have said, you know what? He's a guy with he's always looking for a financial edge. He's a smart guy about investments and things. So some people think, okay, he saw this opportunity to make some money and he pursued it through friends or whatever. We don't know.
But you would think that he would be smart enough to know,
right?
Especially being in the NBA, like those things get flagged. Like you would think he would know that, and it's super fishy though. The fact that he left both games early
with an illness,
like that.
He thought, score it,
right?
King.
Score it,
yeah.
Yes.
Hey, coach.
Just my eye is twitching.
Yeah.
He's like, he's over there.
And he's sitting there. Yeah.
And I know he's a rookie, and I know he doesn't make a whole lot of money, but for 10 grand, 20 grand, you're doing that? Maybe throwing away your career, because the NBA is a no tolerance when it comes to gambling on their own sport. And so it'll be interesting what comes out of this investigation.
Yeah. And it looks like, someone was just ignorant to the fact that sports books have these algorithms now where anything that's a little bit out of whack, they're going to catch. And this was way out of bounds.
Yeah.
So.
That kind of, money coming in on Jontay Porter when it hasn't, like, just all of a sudden out of random. Oh my gosh, people are heavy on Jontay tonight. What the heck's going on? That's an immediate flag.
Yeah.
Before the game even begins. I'm looking for some irregularities.
So his only chance here would be just to come clean completely, right? Like, he can't say,
Oh, yeah, I don't know. He's got to just say, look, here's what happened. Here's what I did. I didn't actually I don't know what he can say, but I think the truth is his quickest path back to some kind of salvation.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because it'll always be a money trail, or
Yeah,
it's so. But I think he's done. Like, if he admits this, it's done. You can't have that in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there's a story. So you remember that game, huh?
I do. And I remember him not coming back. We get the word: Jontay Porter will not return.
When we return, tell you about the King, who is a finalist for an NBA award. Next from the Golden One Center with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The final game of the homestand concludes Tuesday as the Los Angeles Clippers pay a visit to Golden One Center and the Sacramento Kings.
Sabonis rolling in the paint, eludes the defender, a two-hand flush is thrown down off the dribble.
Catch all the play-by-play starting at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. In the Folsom Auto Mall, you can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar. Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints of the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Fidium Fiber, Dawson Oil Company, and Good Guys Heating and Cooling.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Got a salute to an undersung king in just a moment here from the Golden One Center. First, little peek behind the curtains. We're up here. This is where the G-Man does his broadcast from.
Yep.
And then we have the media's here would be to our right. And usually I'm a little further down here, the media section. And Sunday I was right back here, which is kind of where Kings PR is headquartered. And I found out, I was just sitting there watching the game, and they start asking people who wants milkshakes. And I'm like, what? And I felt like I'm not part of that. But they're asking people who wants milkshakes, and I didn't know that existed. I made the mistake of telling Kyle a moment ago, and now he's like, well, I want in on that.
Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't I want in on that? Like,
where are you? Aren't you? You're way. Where do you sit?
I sit down there.
Yeah, I mean,
and I sit over there sometimes.
Right. I know. It's a little bit of a hike.
Wait, you understand? When you're the mayor of Sacramento, the de facto mayor of Sacramento,
yeah, you're right.
I should be included in that.
You're right.
These are my people too.
I know.
Lee and Scott, they're my guys. So, well, yes, why wouldn't I be
all right?
included?
Well, then you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How come you didn't ask one for yourself?
I know, because that's what I felt like. Man, this must be some like long-standing tradition,
Exactly.
and I felt like an interloper.
It's
It's like
2024, man. There are no rules out here. Oh, you got the hook up? Hook me up. That's my motto. Shoot, I'll do a milkshake. I already get dinner brought down to me in the second quarter. I eat it at halftime. Then they bring the milkshake.
Is it the same as what they bring you for lunch?
No.
Oh, okay.
What they bring me for dinner is.
Oh, okay. It's not.
yeah.
It's not what the rest of us get for
It's
dinner.
not what the commoners.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I shouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
So yeah, usually it's like some steak or something like that.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So they're gonna
You
hook
and
it up.
Katie, or just you?
Me and Katie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I take
Because I
care of
do
my
see her
people.
down there eating sometimes.
Yeah, she eats pregame too, and then she'll take something home.
Mhm.
But let's not get it twisted, Whitey. You were included on the pregame meal up here. and you
Oh, I know.
opted
I
out.
know that.
You opted out.
I have no complaint at all about that.
All right, just making
Yeah,
sure
you were
opted
very
out.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
was it James brought me the big thing of popcorn last week?
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
very nice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not complaining at all.
You know,
I
I tell you
not at all.
what, RJ though, the dude will starve himself all day just because he know he's getting a meal when he comes here. Look at him over there. Look at him.
That's a double dog guy over there. The double hot dog
Oh,
guy.
you're a double hot dog guy?
Yes. Double hot dog.
In the one bun or?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Okay. Okay. So this is your late lunch or early dinner, and RJ, and then that's your snack at halftime or whatever? Or how do you work that?
Here's RJ.
They don't bring me dinner at halftime. I don't. Perhaps I have to call the game or something.
Yeah,
I don't
you got
know,
to.
but,
Yeah, you got to.
I'm not mayor.
But where you get the double hot dogs from?
That's a halftime.
Oh,
That's a halftime. You
in
go
the media
downstairs?
room.
Yeah.
The media room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I only did that once. I was hungry.
it was unforgettable though. That's the thing. So anyway, there you go. I hope you get your shakes from now on.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Guess who is a finalist for the NBA Sportsmanship Award?
My guy.
Yeah.
My guy.
Go.
Harrison Barnes, a model citizen, a guy that represents Sacramento well, represents the organization, and delivers on the court.
There
Shout
are
out to HB.
6 finalists: Harrison Barnes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kevin Love, Jared Allen, Trey Jones, and Tyrese Maxey. I know a lot of people on Twitter or X were saying Mike Conley got snubbed here, but you don't hear a lot of people discussing who got snubbed in the Sportsmanship Award.
I feel like Mike Conley's there every year. You know, it's like Jordan with the MVP. You could give it to him every year. Sometimes you got to switch it up. I feel like Mike Conley's one of those guys that's on there every year.
So tell me, in your expert opinion, who would be the candidates? Maybe we don't have 6, maybe we do. The candidates for the NBA's Poor Sportsmanship Award.
Oh, Draymond would be.
Draymond,
yeah.
We might have to just name it after him.
Right. The Draymond.
You don't get it, but we'll name it after you because you'd win every year. I would nominate. There's different aspects to sportsmanship. I mean, if you're going to whine all the time, I would nominate Luka.
Really?
He whines all the time. That's part of sportsmanship, isn't it?
Is that, I guess, arguing with the officials and whining to the officials? Okay, I thought you were going to say. I knew you were going to say that. Let me see what James brought today. What's up, big dog? Oh, you got the kettle corn, too. Thank you. The Act 2 microwave popcorn. You're going to have you got a bag of popcorn for free. Each stop.
Wow, that's for your road trip, huh? Nice.
This is love right here. This is family.
Uh-huh.
And see, Whitey don't understand. He's like, Drapes, why you dude? These are my people, man. This is my brother right here. We got golf too soon. So thank you, James.
All right.
Man. This guy every day is bringing. That's awesome.
Wow.
See, got the
bringing you
popcorn.
things for your road trip. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm not even going on the road trip. Like, I'm
well, give that back. Give that back to James.
I didn't want to ruin the bit, though. But yeah, man. All right. So Draymond is on our list.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be unanimous. If you don't think Lucas should be on there, I can't put him on there.
I look at sportsmanship against other players too. But I get it, arguing with the officials. That he can be on the list.
Yeah.
He can be on the list. Dylan Brooks?
He hasn't. Well, I mean, he's been very physical this year. Has he had any out of bounds disputes? Am I forgetting anything? I guess we have to make him.
Reputation, right?
Yeah.
Like you gotta. Is that it?
You got
anybody else?
How about the big French center out of Utah? How about big Rudy Gobert? I'm sorry, not Utah anymore. Minnesota. Rudy Gobert?
Poor sportsmanship?
Yeah.
Why? What did he do? You just don't like him. That's what.
Well, I mean,
you going back to COVID,
he didn't punch
okay.
a teammate, but I guess that was last year.
We're talking this year. You just.
But this is the first year we've had the award.
No, we should rename this. This is the all hate team, all Whitey hate team. Like he hates all these guys.
I didn't. You're the one that nominated Dylan Brooks,
but you don't like him either. You put him on.
I was not sure he should be on there.
Who else though? I mean, you're not a Draymond guy, not a Luka guy. Clearly not a Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert ain't done a darn thing all season long. You're like, I'm going to throw him on. We're talking sports.
Hasn't done a darn thing all season long. How about when the Kings went into Minnesota and beat them? And what did he say? You know that the referees wanted Sacramento to win. That happened.
Oh, you know what?
He said that.
No, and not only that. Remember, he did this too.
Yes.
All right. I see.
Okay.
I'm making your case for you. I'm helping your argument out. All right.
Yeah, he absolutely did do that.
The money sign with his finger.
Well, then Trae Young probably has to be on there too because he
did that too. Yeah, throw Trae on there. Man, this is who else?
Yeah.
Anybody injure anybody on purpose?
Well,
that was
they don't
Draymond,
usually
though.
admit that.
Right. Draymond and Embiid got tangled up, right? Was that Embiid and Draymond? Or
if you have any candidates for us for the NBA's first Poor Sportsmanship Award so far in the ballot, we got Draymond, we got Luka, we got Dylan Brooks.
Somebody says the guy from Detroit, Steven Torres, says the guy from Detroit. Who are you talking about? Isaiah
Beef Stew?
But that
Isaiah
was last
Stewart?
year with LeBron, right? Did he do something?
He did.
He did something this year.
Yeah.
Where they met in the back.
Yeah.
With what's his
But
name
hey,
from
that's
Phoenix?
off the court.
That doesn't count.
Well, I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, how about Bogdan Bogdanovic? Him and Quinn Snyder yesterday.
Ooh,
Did you see that video?
No.
He got right up in Quinn Snyder's face during the
Really?
game, and they were winning the game.
His own coach?
Yes, his own coach. Look that up, my friend. He got right into his face and was yelling at him. That's.
I don't know if that's poor sportsmanship. Who knows? It might have been justified.
Right, it's one of your guys. Right?
I mean, if that's the other team's coach, that's bad. But if it's your own coach,
you're gonna put Quinn Snyder on the list. His face shouldn't have been there. That's for.
Well, see, if we did that, that would be 2 Atlanta Hawks on the ballot for poor sportsmanship award.
Yeah.
I'll just. Well, I don't have a pencil, but if I did, I would pencil in.
I got
Isaiah
one.
Stewart.
Can coaches be a part of this? Ime Udoka. Remember the whole thing with LeBron and Ime, and he called him supposedly the B word on this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he said stop acting like one. And
that's right.
Yeah, that's poor sports. That crosses the line right there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're covered now. Even if we decide Draymond, we're just going to name it for him, and he's not eligible. We still have 6. So Draymond, Luka, Dylan Brooks, Rudy Gobert. Man, I can't believe how hard I had to work to talk you into Rudy Gobert, Trae Young, Isaiah Stewart, and Ime Udoka. So Bogey's not on there yet.
Okay.
Bogey's not on it. And speaking of honors, you had this before I saw it. A member of the Kings organization, former member of the coaching staff, honored today.
Yes. Shout out to Lindsay Harding, named 2023-24 NBA G League Coach of the Year. The Stockton Kings head coach led the squad to a 24-10 record, best record in the league. And she gets this award from the G League coaches and general managers. They're the ones who vote on this award. And what's interesting, she becomes the first woman to win the award and the first woman of color to receive the recognition and the first Stockton Kings head coach to receive the recognition. So shout out to our girl, Lindsay Harding, G League Coach of the Year.
Yeah, last year the Kings had the Coach of the Year. This year they have the G League Coach of the Year. That's tremendous.
And, it's interesting. They named the trophy after the late, great Dennis Johnson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, DJ. You remember DJ.
Uh-huh.
Dennis Johnson, the Dennis Johnson Trophy.
Great defender, Dennis Johnson.
Yes. Finals MVP, right?
Yeah.
Sonics.
Yes. Good pull right there.
Yeah, remember that.
Yeah.
DJ was the man back then.
Yeah, we're coming to you, of course, from the Gold One Center. When we come right back, tell you why tonight for the Kings is a conditional must-win. We'll explain next year. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us. I want to thank Chris Watkins as well, the great Chris Watkins from Styles and Watkins. He just sent me the video, texted me the video of the Bogdanovich thing you were talking about. Bogey and Quinn Snyder.
See that? What do you think about it?
I don't have a problem with it.
It's loud in there. He had something important he had to say to the coach. It's loud. He had to make sure that the coach could hear him.
Okay.
That's a play on.
Okay. All right.
If anything, it's like, good for you for making sure. the coach can hear what you had to say.
Showing some passion too out there.
Absolutely.
No, that's terrible. I got one more for you. I got one more.
Okay.
Marcus Smart.
Oh, yes.
Remember he got
getting a tee out
he
here.
got ejected.
When he wasn't even in uniform.
He wasn't even in uniform. That's
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I mean, he might be the leader in the clubhouse, right?
How do you get kicked out of the game? You're not even dressed for the game. Like, yeah, that's pretty bad sportsmanship right there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put that up to vote at some point here before we're all finished with this regular season. Speaking of tonight, is this? I think you might have said this yesterday.
Yeah,
a conditional must-win for the Kings. Now, that means we won't know for sure, but if you want to avoid the play-in, this might be a must-win tonight.
Yeah, I think 6-2, you may avoid the play-in, but the wins you got to beat the Pelicans and Suns. And looking at this schedule, Knicks on Thursday, Boston on Friday. I think this is a must-win.
Thanks, James.
James bringing you more. Dog, what do you got here, man?
Blue Diamond
we got
Almonds.
Too much stuff out here, man. This is terrible, bro.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Blue Diamond Almonds. That's tremendous.
James is
smart snacking.
He's carrying this bit on for like the last month, but it's all good. It's all good. No, I think this is a must-win. We're talking to avoid the play-in, right?
Yeah,
yeah. I just think 6-2, anything less than that, and we got a poll running on YouTube right now, actually.
How's that going?
Our boy Nate put up a poll.
Nate is in for Jay today. Hopefully Jay is feeling better soon, and thank you, Nate, for filling in admirably.
8 games left. What do you think the Kings' record will be? 9% says 8-0, 9% says 7-1, 59% says 6-2 or 5-3, and then 23% says less than 5 wins. You can vote right now on the Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube page. But I think it has to be 6-2 at worst to make it into the top 6.
I don't see him going 6-2. Maybe I'm not giving him enough credit, but that's a tall order right now when you look at the upcoming schedule.
So what are we playing the games for then? We're just going to
that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right, but I think any way you slice it, we're both kind of saying that, yeah, if you want to avoid the play-in, this is perhaps an actual honest-to-goodness must-win tonight.
Yes, it is. It is. And, you know, even if you don't think, you know, you're going to avoid the play-in, at least get the top 7 seed. Like, you need this to, you know, at least get a top 7 seed. And so I think, you know, when you look at the schedule, you still got OKC, you still got Phoenix, you still got New Orleans. You know, this is a Clippers team. Sure, they won 3 in a row, but you know, no Kawhi Leonard, you match up well against, and you're at home, man. When are we gonna start taking care of home court? And so I think they got to win tonight.
Yeah, I was when you said that, I started to say, well, they played a little better in the home court, but obviously after last week, you can't even go there at all. I was hoping that once they got settled at home this month, and they've had a handful of, you know, it's been an extended homestand. I thought, okay, now we're really going to see him get some traction at home. Obviously,
it has
that hasn't happened, but be nice to grab one tonight. And that's why, as we said earlier, it'd be nice to see the fans, go above and beyond, which they always do. Yes. But tonight, I think the team could really use that.
You know what's interesting when you look at, you know, Sacramento's home court and just record in general. I was doing my research. The Kings were 10-6 in the month of March. That was their best month out of any all season long.
And
but it feels bad, right? It feels
10-6 doesn't blow you away.
It doesn't blow you away, and it feels worse than that, to be honest with you. But this was their best month of the season.
It probably was by far their best defensive month, right?
Yeah.
As far as the defensive rating goes.
And I think really those last 2 losses to Dallas like weighs heavily on
that's
so
it.
much.
Yeah.
You know, if it was a loss against, you know, Orlando and somebody else, but you beat Dallas, then the 10-6 feels a lot better. I think those 2 losses are sticking with us right now.
Let me ask you a very difficult question, because depending on how you feel here, the truth here might not be pleasant. Is it possible here without Malik that this thing kind of starts to backslide on them? I'm not saying they're going to miss the playoffs, but could they possibly miss Malik so much that they really are having a hard time staying competitive from here going forward against some of the better teams? I mean, it's on the board, right? I don't anticipate it, but it's on the board.
It's definitely on the board. But I could also say that even with Malik healthy, that was on the board. Like going to New York, going to Boston, playing the Pelicans. We've been healthy in those games, and they've still, kicked our butts. And so I think Malik, sort of adds to that, obviously. Yeah, it could go sideways. This is a tough schedule. Let's keep it real. This is tough. Like these next 3 games, you talk about it going sideways. That's why tonight's so important. And so, yes, it could go sideways here, these last 8 games of the season.
Unless something unforeseen happens. I tend to agree with Harrison Barnes. I don't think it's going to be as simple as, well, pick player. He's going to fill in and make up the difference for Malik. It is going to have to be more from this guy, a little more from that guy, even more from the 2 best players on the team as we've discussed, but there's no one guy that's going to, all right, Keegan or whomever.
Yeah.
Now it's up to you to pick up that entire scoring load. That's not realistic.
It's not realistic, but if one guy can do it, it's Keegan. Like, come on, Whitey. We started off the season with high hopes for this guy.
Right.
And it's not 14 to 15 people. We were talking 17, 18 a night. Our boy Campio is talking 23 to 29. Now, that's kind of a stretch, but, man, if he can just develop that killer instinct, that selfishness to an extent where he's aggressive with the ball, I think that takes some of the pressure off Fox, some of the pressure off Sabonis. And let's keep it real. That's what we're doing on the show. We're keeping it real. Domantas Sabonis isn't a heavy volume scoring kind of guy. Can he score 25? Can he score 30? Yes, but that's not in his nature. So without Malik, who's our second bona fide scorer on this team after De'Aaron Fox?
Where is Keegan right now? And I should know this. Is he still at about 15 a game?
Yeah, I got the numbers right here. I'll pull it up. Doing my research for tonight's matchup, Keegan Murray is at 15 points per game.
Yeah.
Over his last 10, it's 17 points per game.
Okay, now we're talking. I mean, if you want to talk about him maybe 20 plus the rest of the way, that's reasonable. But if we're talking about 20, what did Campio say? 23 to 29. I mean, yeah, I see where he's coming from, but that's not, to me, that's just not realistic to hope for that. But if he scores more, and as you said, as we've discussed, if Domas can find a way, maybe it's just a matter of taking that 15-foot jump shot more than he's been willing to. If HB can continue to up his scoring, group effort, to me, that's the way it has to be done. If it's Keegan averaging 30 points a game the rest of the way,
that's too much.
I don't think it's going to happen. I'd love to be wrong.
No, you're probably right. You're right about that. But 20's not too much to ask for, right?
I agree.
20's not, because he's going to have more opportunity now. Like the ball should find him more, you would think, now. But with that being said, and we talked about it earlier, Fox has to score more. Sabonis has to be more of a threat offensively.
Yeah.
It's not just on Keegan. Like, I think really first and foremost, our stars have to be better.
Don't you think that after tonight, we're probably going to have a clearer idea of what their chances are going forward? I mean, we may see something tonight that's like, yes, that's going to work going forward. Whereas if they, again, if they backslide tonight, if they just aren't able to mount a challenge, then we're going to know that, all right, this is going to be rough sledding the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So again, key game tonight.
And I think tonight more so than those next 2 that I keep bringing up. You'll learn more from tonight than Thursday and Friday against New York and Boston. Maybe New York. Boston, I'm sorry. I'm out on that one. I apologize.
You got burned badly the last time they played Boston.
I got PTSD when we faced Boston, man.
Wasn't that give me that box score. Get that out of here.
That was that game. Oh, that was an awful night for me, man. And that's the one Cedric Maxwell came over.
That's right.
Then he came over to my booth and started cursing and everything.
Yeah, you said, come here. Get out of here.
Right. So, yes, I got PTSD with these guys. And so I'm not looking forward to that one. But what if we surprise people, Whitey? What if we win tonight and on Thursday? Those would be 2 massive wins, I think, for this Kings.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's doable. I don't know. Maybe I know the Knicks are a really tough team and they're having a nice season and Tibbs has turned them around. I just still think they're beatable.
Don't?
I do. I think they're beatable. I do. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you. I agree. I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be, the style of play, hard nose. I think it's going to be tough.
And I do think that's the style that the Kings are going to have to continue to embrace.
Right.
Tighter and tighter. That's because they're going to have to just out-scrap teams going forward.
But you can't out-scrap the scrappers, can you?
You have to.
Can you? And that game against the Knicks when it was here, I thought the Kings played well. I thought they showed something, but it's like being a boxer. You know what I mean? Are you trying to outpunch Mike Tyson? Is that what we're trying to do?
That would be ludicrous.
Right, ludicrous.
Yeah. Do you think there's anybody right now, if you're Coach Brown, do you look down your bench or you're just thinking, I think Duarte's going to get his chance, or Colby, or somebody who hasn't been playing much, who you feel like, all right, this is their moment. I like their chances to shine.
I don't think so. I'm not. Although they did recall Colby.
That's not the answer I was hoping for, but I appreciate your honesty.
I think, the rotation, I expect it to be pretty tight tonight. I expect Davion off the bench. I expect Trey off the bench. I expect Sasha, and I expect Alex Len. I think Mike will go with 9 tonight. And, depending on, obviously, the situation, if you need some defense, maybe a Kessler Edwards. But I think a guy like Chris is maybe one of the odd men out. And Mike will always give people a chance,
Yeah.
It will surprise you and, hey, come on in situational. But I don't know, man. I think the guy, who can really – how should I put this? Impact the game. Look out for Davion Mitchell tonight. He's been playing so much better as of late. I thought he played fantastic against Utah, only had 8 points, but he's looking for a shot out there, and he's competing defensively, obviously. I look for Davion to be an X factor.
And didn't Jerry Reynolds, when he joined us, didn't he say that Trey Lyles has an opportunity here? Yeah.
Yes.
If he can get back to being like Trey Lyles, he could have a huge impact.
Right. We missed Trey a lot, a big part, because and we saw it second half against Utah. He made 3 threes. He's a guy that can stretch the floor. I think him and Sasha will need their scoring.
Meanwhile, a former King has officially announced his retirement, and so we'll evaluate his career, underrated, overrated, or properly rated. Turns out he's a guy that Kyle Draper very familiar with. We'll tackle that next year from the Golden One Center Drive, guys. Sactown Sports.
The final game of the homestand concludes Tuesday as the Los Angeles Clippers pay a visit to Golden One Center and the Sacramento Kings.
It's fourth quarter Fox time. He's doubled, throws a pass cross court to Keegan, steps to his left, launches a three. He's got the triple. It's the fourth one from downtown in 5 attempts by Keegan Murray. And the Kings have tied it at 101.
Catch all the play-by-play starting at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now you've heard me talk about my amazing experience with them when I got my new EQS. I tell everybody I know, their dedication to every customer is incredible. Whether it's by text or call, they are available whenever I need them. And they're also a major Mercedes commercial van sales and service center as well. So if you're a biz owner with a vehicle fleet, Mercedes-Benz vans are a smart business move. They're rugged, sophisticated cargo haulers that qualify for very generous tax breaks. And it is a Benz. Your drivers will love it, and your company will look great. Sprinters are available at rates starting at 4.9% APR, so go take a tour of the gorgeous new Mercedes-Benz of Stockton showroom, a half hour from SAC, right off of I-5 at the 8 Mile Road exit, or online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com.
And paid for by America First Tax Group. Attention, if you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you. But you must call 800-257-0663 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-257-0663. That's 800-257-0663. Again, 800-257-0663.
We love the game because anything can happen. There's no sure thing.
How did that go in?
Every play,
Oh my goodness!
every shot,
Are you kidding me?
every swing is a risk if you bet.
I can't believe that just happened.
There's no easy money. There's no luck. And no one wins all the time. If you bet, bet responsibly and always set a limit. Learn more at responsibleplay.org.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
Welcome to the April Adventure Sales Event at Kia Vacaville. Are you ready for an extraordinary experience? We're excited to introduce you to the pinnacle of automotive excellence, the Kia Telluride. During April Adventure, come and explore the remarkable features of the Kia Telluride. It's not just a vehicle, it's a lifestyle with this seamless blend of sophistication and practicality. The Telluride is ready to elevate your driving experience to new heights. Whether you're embarking on a family road trip or navigating the urban jungle, the Kia Telluride offers unparalleled comfort and innovation. Plus, with Kia's commitment to safety and reliability, you can drive with confidence wherever the road takes you. Don't miss this opportunity to experience the extraordinary Kia Telluride for yourself. Visit Kia at Vacaville today and take advantage of exclusive offers during the April Adventure Sales Event. Your adventure begins here. Kia Vacaville, where innovation meets excellence. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia Vacaville for more details.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
If you're an NBA fan, if you've been a fan for a while, you've probably heard here or there or read about a player on this team or that team coming off an injury and being cleared for 5-on-5 play. And maybe you've wondered what that was. I think a lot of people assume, oh, he's scrimmaging with the team. That's not necessarily what 5-on-5 is. We're seeing some of that right now. We're witnessing the Clippers with some 5-on-5 drills, which is some players like Bones Highland who just had a nice baseline dunk. Yeah. And you're talking about, all good players, but you got coaches out there, right? It's 5-on-5, but it's not all NBA
play. Yeah, it's not 5-on-5 with your whole team.
Yeah, but it's very competitive. Yeah.
It is. And, that was Dante Jones, former NBA player, knocking down that corner jumper. So, you have some talent out there, yeah.
Right. But it's interesting when you hear about this guy, that guy who's cleared for 5-on-5. Anyway, Sasha, speaking of injuries, you think Sasha's good to go tonight? I know he played a little bit last game. You think maybe?
I think so, right?
Yeah, right.
I think he got to be good to go. I mean, I thought he looked good out there the other night. He moved well, had some deflections. I thought he competed, and he's not even listed on the injury report at all.
There we go.
Yeah, he's good to go tonight.
He maybe could have played a few more minutes, but Domas needed his double-double. So, which is great. There's a former King who has announced his retirement. To me, he's one of those guys who you look at and go, wow, I didn't realize he accomplished all that. But before we get to that, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. TC is back with us. How you doing, TC?
Man, hey, I'm back. Drake, what's going on?
TC, what's up with you, fan?
Oh man, just vibing, Whitey. So check it out. Hey, as far as the Kings, bro, like I said the other day, look, check it out. We need it's gonna be a team game. You get me? We're gonna need all hands on deck with these guys, man. I truly believe we're gonna win tonight by 7. But listen, check it out. If we can get the 5th seed, 4th, that's all out of, unless everybody fall off the face of the earth. But 6 is maybe right there, but y'all check it out. If we got to get in with 7, let's not drop no less than 7. That's where our mind should be like, look, bro, we're not dropping no less than 7, and we're going to get it. We're going to win our first game, and we're going to get in the playoff series, and we're going to make some noise. But if we lose, it's like a win. The Kings, as far as Kings, we're in a win-win situation if you look at it. If we get 7 or 8, okay, we get 2 games. We got 2 shots at it to win to get into the playoffs. That's how I take it, bro. But I'm not looking at it like, oh, it's going to be a failure if we don't get in. And I'm not looking at it like that, y'all. I'm looking at it like we got to get in. However we going to get in, and we're going to make some noise. That's all I got.
Thank you, TC. I agree.
Okay, a win-win, huh?
You get in the play-in, and then you get out of the play-in. That's fine.
That's
Doesn't
fine,
matter. You're still
in the
team.
playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And we're talking so much about we got to avoid the play-in, and no, not necessarily. Your goals are still there.
You sure like to, but the way it looks right now, you might have to settle for.
Yeah, and we had Jerry on, and the Lakers last year play-in team, the Heat play-in team, and think about it. He went all the way to the NBA finals. Lakers went to the conference finals, and so even if they get the 7th seed or the 8th seed, doesn't mean the season's over. And oh man, all you got to do is win one game, and then you're actually in the dance.
And we were talking earlier about the fact that the play-in this year is the 16th through the 19th, and the playoffs start the 20th. But my point is, if you play that 7-8 game and you win, you get a few days off.
Get those days off.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, from a coaching standpoint, and I know they'll prepare no matter what, but who your opponent is a few days earlier, and you can really lock in practice and scout and everything like that. And so, even if they finish 7 or 8, just win that game, win that first game, get into the big dance, and let's go.
I wanted to know what you thought of this. Former King. He hadn't played in a while. Hadn't played since 22, but he was on Matt Barnes on his podcast and made it official. Rajon Rondo says, yeah, I'm done. I'm finished. It's time to step away, and wants to spend more time with his kids. How about the career that Rajon Rondo had?
Unbelievable career. And, you talk about a savant, high basketball IQ.
High IQ, period.
Yes, period. And, people, you talk to people around the league, they say him and LeBron James, and you could throw Chris Paul in that in terms of basketball IQ, ability to think the game, unbelievable. And
him going way back to
high school. Well, at Kentucky, actually. He started at Kentucky. I used to work in Louisville, and I was at his draft party that night in Louisville, Kentucky. So him and I go way back. And the thing about Rondo, he had some great years in Boston. They won the championship in 2008. He was the starting point guard with Hall of Famers Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. And you talk to them and talk to anybody within that organization, Rondo was the key to that team. Think about that. You're a young point guard. I think it was only his second year, maybe. And you're a young point guard. You got those big personalities.
Yeah.
And you got to, feed them the ball and make sure everyone's happy. And he did a hell of a job. And I'll also throw in there, I do believe it was the 2012 series, Heat Celtics. Rondo was the best player in that series until he fractured his elbow. In that,
that's right.
Yeah. I think it was that series. He fractured. I think it was that series.
Yeah,
he fractured his elbow. And Whitey, real quick, he's a guy that's played on a torn ACL.
Really?
Yeah. In the game against the Hawks, he tore his ACL, kept playing, and then it was found out afterwards.
Wow,
that's what happened. I mean, the dude was tough as nails.
2-time champ, once with Boston, once with the Lakers. Yeah. I think he was a 4-time All-Star.
Yeah.
And then 16 seasons in the NBA.
16.
Wow. 9 of which were with the Celtics. Played 1 year here. Didn't go well. He and DeMarcus were not big fans of the head coach at the time, George Karl. I think he led the league in assists that year, but it was clear that that's pretty much what he was playing for when he was here. It was
getting
lead the league. Yeah, in assists. One thing I'll never forget about Rondo, and I don't know him nearly as well as you do, but just reading about him, Doc Rivers saying, I think it was Doc Rivers, it was one of his coaches saying, he's so smart. He said, Rondo would ask me a question, but he knew the answer. He just wanted to see if I did. He would ask about the offense and what we do, and he said, oh, he knew.
Yes.
But he wanted to see if I knew.
Yeah, he was so smart. And, from a coaching standpoint, think about that. Guy like George Karl you're playing for. That doesn't mix well.
Right.
Rick Carlisle in Dallas. Didn't mix quite well because Rondo was so smart. And at times, maybe he thought he knew more than the coaches.
Yeah.
As well. And so, no, it's a great career, a great defensive player. you brought
That's
up
right, a great defensive player. Because when he was here, he wasn't.
Yeah,
but early in his
back in
career,
his
he
career.
was.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you a quick story about his time in Boston. You bring up Domas and the double going for the rebound, and Mike Brown keeping him in and putting him. Well, Doc did the same thing with Rondo in Boston. Rondo had a double-digit assist streak. I think it was like 38 or 39. Blowout. They're in Detroit. Doc puts them back in, and everybody's like, "Why would you do that?" And so that was one of those things that, at the time, people are like, "Oh man, they're more focused on getting stats than actually winning." And so I remember that game very well, very well.
Would you say underrated, overrated, or properly rated? Rajon Rondo.
I would say underrated.
Wow.
I would say an underrated basketball player. I look at a team like the Lakers right now, or, even Boston, before this year, before they got Drew, like they needed a point guard like Rajon Rondo, somebody that brings it all together, somebody that controls the flow of the game, somebody that's a leader. And I think Rondo is an underrated leader as well. Sure, he was stubborn. He was hard-headed. Him and I, bumped our heads a couple of times, but in between the lines, man, he was a baller.
Mm-hmm. He also said on the podcast from Matt Barnes that the true point guard is dead now.
Yeah, it really is.
He was one of the last ones who really was a true, let's get the team into their offense and run the offense point guard.
It really is dead. I can't even think of, a true point guard anymore in the league. Even like you look at Boston, Drew Holiday. He's a true point, but he doesn't play that role like with the South. Like the days of Chris Paul, orchestrating the offense, they seem to be over.
The game has just evolved to the point where, centers are different. Those used to be the two most important positions, right? Point guard and center, and both of them have changed dramatically as the game has evolved.
Yes. And I mean, nowadays, basically what you're seeing is the offense being run through the best player or the best passer, and it could be a center. Look at Denver. Look at Sacramento. It could be a wing player. Look at, LeBron's a point guard, even though, he's 6'9". And so it's just a different game right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You mentioned Domas's double streak. And as that streak has gone on, we've been talking all season long about Kings franchise legend, Jerry Lucas.
Yeah.
I actually have a message for Kings fans from Jerry Lucas.
What?
Yes. It's interesting. I didn't have anything to do with it, but I
Okay.
found this. It's a message for Kings fans from Jerry Lucas. We have that for you next year. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear through the night tonight with lows near 50. During the day tomorrow, we'll see partly cloudy skies, a little breezy with highs in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
Progressive presents 10 things on a food truck owner's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Stocking the fridge, prepping the stations, finding employees that get along well, finding employees that actually do their job. Looking at you, Gary. Balancing the books, balancing the flavors, having a fresh menu and fresh produce and fresh meat, but never a fresh mouth. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Bianna's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Fitty and Fiber, Dawson Oil Company, and Good Guys Heating and Cooling.
If you're in the market for a new or used car right now, or if you just want to go see like what new technology's in the new cars nowadays, stop by and see my friends at Elk Grove Kia and the Elk Grove Auto Mall before you go anywhere else. As soon as you step onto the lot, you're going to feel like family. You're going to know why they have so many 5-star reviews at Elk Grove Kia and why they're the #1 Sacramento Kia dealer. Like, I love this 5-star review right here. Quote, "I could not be happier. My husband surprised me with my new Telluride. I love it. The staff is friendly, kind, and conscious. Took their time to find the perfect car. Thank you guys for the hard work. Great job. I love my new Telly." There you go. That's just another satisfied customer at Elk Grove Kia. So in addition to all the 5-star reviews, the finance team at Elk Grove Kia has over 100 years combined experience. You know what that means? Financing for everyone. And we know going to the car dealership can be overwhelming, but come experience Elk Grove Kia. They go above and beyond to make sure this is an automotive adventure for you. Check out what's on special and what's on the lot today at elkgrovekia.com, or better yet, come see everything in person at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
The Tribe Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Buddy Gleason, Kyle Draper. Drapes, I just got word from Nate that there's somebody on the phone that may have a beef with you. And I know sometimes sometimes you're non-confrontational.
I didn't even do anything.
Sometimes you'd rather like, I don't really want to. So I just wanted to give you the option.
No, I'm ready for the smoke. Like, I don't know what I did, what I said, but
no, I'm not
they
sure.
better come correct. Whoever it is, they better come correct.
Let me do the Jerry Lucas thing first, because then once you get into it with somebody, it could go any which way. And I want a little nice positive thing here.
Okay.
And then we'll see where we are with the disagreement. As you know, I've been trying to see if we could get Jerry Lucas like on the show, maybe bring him out here. Jerry Lucas is a guy whose double records have been broken by Domas, his franchise records. Jerry Lucas was one of the 75 greatest players of all time. Kind of hard to track down, and I've been working on this angle, that angle. I know he turned 84 on Saturday. I just saw this today at the Kings Herald. There's a commenter there, Houston JP, and he shared this story, and I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Long story short, Houston JP says Jerry Lucas would leave tickets in Cincinnati for this guy and for his dad and for his uncle. And so he brought his uncle up to speed on Domas. I guess his uncle's still in Cincinnati, okay? So he tells his uncle, hey, this is what's going on with Domas and you know, Jerry's records being broken. And so he tells his uncle that. Then he says, I got a call from my uncle the next day before the Kings game. He had talked to Jerry Lucas, who was happy to hear about Domas breaking his record.
Okay.
And Jerry Lucas had heard about Domas play this season on ESPN during several broadcasts during the season. Jerry Lucas says to pass along to Kings fans not to give up on the team.
Okay.
And to enjoy the physical artistry of current NBA players.
The great Jerry Lucas.
Close. Yes, we're getting that close.
Getting that close.
Get that close.
Man.
To get Jerry on the show, maybe out here, but Jerry Lucas says Kings fans do not give up on this team.
And he's aware of Domas.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's great. Dude, that's something you've been trying to track down.
Yeah.
You've been on this.
Still got some pizza left in the box, but we're getting there. Yeah. Don't you think when he played in the 60s and the 70s, he probably had all those double-doubles. No one said, hey, you got this many double-doubles. Right? It wasn't a thing.
Why do you think that is now? Like, are we obsessed with records now?
Yes.
So then,
Stats and everything. We all need something to talk about.
Look at the box score, right?
Yeah, that's right. Get that out of here. Give me that box score. Get it out of here. Yeah, so somebody probably, Jerry Lucas probably, he found out, the guy broke my record. I didn't know I had that record.
Right. No, you're
Good
right
for
about
him.
that. Yeah.
So we'll hopefully we'll find out, but I just wanted to share that. Now, Javier from Vacaville joins us. My sources say he may have an issue with you. I don't know.
I doubt it, but let's hear it.
Javier, you're on with the Drive Guys. What's going on, sir?
How you doing, Mr. Gleason and Mr. Drake? So hopefully in the pre-game show I'll be there. I was letting you know. Mason Jones only has 7 games left on his two-way, so he is running out of days. In fact, like I said, I was correct. I know you.
Dude, there's only 8 games left. It's the end of the season. It's the end of the season.
He'll be a game short of finishing the season, and he won't be club eligible, like I said. But it's all good. You can cut me off. But I was saying about the Pelicans, the record that the Kings have currently. They win tonight. They're 1 game out of the win column. Pelicans' current schedule.
Get him off. Get him out of here.
We lost you, Javier.
This guy is.
We lost
he's not
your
even
phone cut
prepared.
off. Yeah.
He got the iPhone 2 calling in. Come on, Javier.
I think what happened was we lost his. I know Javier just from on the air. I've never met Javier. I know him from talking to him. Just like we just did. But I'm sure that something happened there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I guess his beef with you was yesterday he said something about Mason Jones.
There's 8 games left. He's like, it's running out, and I'm like, dude, it's 8 games left. What are you talking about?
What he told me when I screened the call was that he thinks the Kings can leapfrog the Pelicans, and he wanted to call you out because he interpreted that Drapes thought that the Pelicans are locked in their spot, and the Kings don't stand a chance. But I didn't. Okay. That's his argument.
I never. Come on.
Thank you.
Nate, you got to do a better job screening these calls, man. You're just letting anybody on the air.
Oh, I would have put him on with him.
You would have been.
I mean, he knows. Javier knows. Obviously, things didn't go his way there, but he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, but no, he doesn't, because nobody, when they talk about standings, I guarantee you, no one ever in the history of talking about standings says we're 1 behind in the win column. He told on himself right there, Whitey. The win column doesn't matter. It's about the loss column.
You make a good point.
Right?
Because the loss column, once you've lost, you can't make that up.
Right. You can't make that up. It's about the loss column. It's not about the win column right now, Javier. So he told on himself.
He said he's going to be here tonight, so maybe we'll see him.
Dude, I'm not up there at the pre and post. I'm going to make sure security stops him. Because he came in with some smoke for me today, huh?
That was his intention. Western Conference loss column now. Dallas has 29 losses, Pelicans 30, Suns 31, Kings 31, Lakers 33, Warriors 34. So that's where that is as far as the loss column. And of course, Pelicans, as we've said over and over and over, they have the tiebreaker. We don't know who's going to have the tiebreaker between the Kings and the Suns or the Kings and the Mavericks. Still to be determined.
Yeah, we don't know. And the Pelicans 1 game in the loss column, which really equals 2 because they have the tiebreaker, Javier. Got me angry, man.
What about the Mason Jones thing and how many days he has left on his two-way?
What do you say? He got 7 days and there's 8 games left to go. What are we talking about? It's
all right, Javier. Yeah. Thanks for checking in. We have this on the chat. Family Schlegel says 7 would not be bad because it is 2 home games. So fans, it's interesting.
Yeah, two home games.
You can hear and see fans trying to, and I don't know where family Schlegel has been specifically, but Kings fans now are trying to, kind of reshape some of their expectations given the events of last week.
Yeah, and rightfully so. As new information comes in, you sort of, reshape your expectations, and especially with the loss of Malik Monk. I mean, that's massive. If we can hold on to the 7th seed, I take that. That's a win. And then hopefully you win that first game and you get in. I mean, think about the injuries that they've had. 2 of their top 6 players have gone down in the last 2 weeks, and so and seeing where the standings are and losing against Dallas, I think we have to reshape our expectations. If we're still holding to the same expectations as we did in game 1, we're going to set ourselves up for a letdown.
And I think that could be something the team benefits from. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I think they've played like expectations sometimes were a little too heavy for them this year. Now you have none of those expectations. Epic Airbees on the chat says, I'd like to see some more breakout play from our guys filling in for the loss of Monk. And we have this from Truth or Troll Sports Podcast, pardon me. Halliburton is the true point guard.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. G-Man. How are you?
G-Man is in the building. Oh, you got your playoff suit on tonight. You're expecting a big game. That's pretty nice. I like that. G-Man is ready. Halliburton, the true point guard. This Truth or Troll says LaMelo also. So there's a couple of them out there.
Yeah.
LaMelo,
I don't know about
Tyrese
is close. You know, the old days point guards, like they barely shoot.
Yeah. That days,
Luke Ridnour, guys like that.
Remember that? Yeah. Nowadays, you got to score. You got to score at that point guard position. Yes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Kings here, they have 8 games that might give them a head start on next season. Are the next 8 games a preview of a future without Malik? We'll tackle that rather unpleasant topic when we come back to the Golden One Center Drive, guys. Kings and Clippers tonight, a big one on Sactown Sports.
The final game of the homestand concludes Tuesday as the Los Angeles Clippers pay a visit to Golden One Center and the Sacramento Kings.
Sabonis rolling in the paint, eludes the defender, a two-hand flush is thrown down off the dribble.
Catch all the play-by-play starting at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines. Available only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Are you someone who tries to drive while distracted by your phone? Someone who props it on the steering wheel or peeks down at it for a glance? Or just scrolls and scrolls?
I love this time of year when the azaleas begin to bloom and the singing birds' sweet dawn chorus remind us that blue skies and sunshine are at hand. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. In sports, the definition for the word master is one who's achieved a high degree of skill, and that will be on display in the highly anticipated golf tournament. In the furniture business, a master is a highly skilled craftsman, an artist even, whose work is coveted by those who appreciate design, quality, and durability. John Keyes was the mastermind of Naturewood Home Furnishings. He knew that you wanted your home to reflect your personal style, whether that was a plain coffee table or a masterpiece for you to enjoy forever. That's why when you walk into Naturewood Home Furnishings, you'll find the largest and best selection of the highest quality home furnishings in Northern California. Masterful. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Heard the catchphrase that's sweeping the nation?
Jackson Hugh, yeah.
People are saying Jackson Hugh, yeah, to Jackson Hewitt because they love saving money on tax prep. Do you love saving money? Then switch to Jackson Hewitt today and pay less than last year. Thousands of people have already made the switch. Why haven't you? Stop waiting and start filing. You won't get a better deal or a better catchphrase. Call it together now.
Jackson Hugh, yeah!
Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. In the Folsom Auto Mall, you can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Pardon me. Obviously, last week was a difficult week for Kings fans. So where is this whole thing now with 8 games to go as we get ready for the Kings and the Clippers tonight? Al Draper, Whitey Gleason, and look who's kind enough to join us here in the middle of his preparation for the call tonight on Sactown Sports, the great Gary Gerald. G-Man, thanks so much for your time. Where do you think Kings fans should be here as far as optimism of finishing this season in a fashion that everyone can feel good about?
Lace him up tight, brother.
Yes.
That's about all I can say. I mean, every one of these games we've talked about the significance, and we all knew as you get closer to the end of the regular season how every game goes under the magnifying glass. It seems like the intensity level grows, and each and every one of these nights is just so big. And the reality is right now that, you know, the fact of Sacramento making the top 6, I'd say is minimal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit of a realist. You look at the strength of schedule, you look what's coming up, but you got to find a way. And it doesn't make any difference who's in uniform. And I know coaches preach about the next man up and one thing or another, but I don't know. You come and you say, all right, give us a good competitive effort. Mm. And that's where I think I am in terms of, you know, let's not climb on that roller coaster anymore, and where the dramatic highs and the dramatic lows.
Right.
Just be competitive, man. Play with a sense of urgency that this situation, this scenario demands.
G-Man, the great G-Man, joining us here on the Drive, guys. G-Man, in doing your research for tonight, what stands out to you about this matchup with the Clippers?
Well, I think that, I mean, it's hard to read this team. You know, they had such a great stretch from December through January where I think they went I don't know, 21-6 or something like that. But it was, they were terrific. They looked like they were going to be the team to emerge out of the West. And they got things, starting to get in sync with the great talent that they have on that roster. And then they took a dip. And during that dip was the Kings win in Los Angeles, which was a decisive victory for Sacramento. So if I'm Ty Lue in this ball club, I think they're feeling better about themselves because they've won 3 in a row. But I'm thinking back, guys have a memory. They remember when they got stung on their home floor and they heard the Light the Beam chants and all of that business in LA. And I think they'll be coming out trying to make a statement tonight, even though they're not going to have Kyrie. Kawhi.
Yeah.
I got my K's crossed. Well,
that was wishful thinking. You just wishing that Kyrie had not been here last week, right?
I wish it would have been Kyrie instead of Luka that fell on Malik Monk. Maybe
he might be good to go.
He might be in uniform tonight.
Obviously, it's probably unrealistic to think of any one guy filling that offensive void that's created with Malik gone, but wouldn't you think that Keegan's going to have opportunities now to increase the offensive contributions?
Well, I was encouraged, despite the fact you're playing a Utah team that was severely depleted. They were without 3 of their marquee players 2 nights ago in this building. But the way the Kings responded, the production you got from both Harrison Barnes and Keegan Murray, I thought were huge in determining the outcome of that game. And now you can't be a one-trick pony. You've got to find a way to bring that on a consistent basis. And one of the stats guys on social media had a great stat the other night. Deuce Mason picked up on it, and I quickly made a note of it, that when Keegan and HB each score 15 or more points in a game, the Kings are 9-0.
Ooh.
So, get them involved, get them feeling confident. I loved it the other night. I mean, between them, they shot great percentage. They had 10 threes between them. That's what it's going to take on a nightly basis, in addition to your great efforts from Sabonis and Fox and defensive stuff from Keon Ellis and everybody else. It's everybody has got to find a way to just take it up a notch.
Yeah.
It might be 3%. It might be 5%. It might be 15%. I don't know. I don't know how you measure things like that. But everybody has got to pull together, and you've got to find a way to try to enforce your will and make that other team respond.
G-Man, with Trey Lyles and Sasha Vezenkov, how much are you expecting from them this final stretch? 8 games. How important are those 2 guys?
Well, I think they're hugely important. They give you a little more size. They give you some scoring ability in a time when, you're missing a lot of points between Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter. And so I'm encouraged from what I saw the other night. I expected a little more rust.
Yeah.
And I thought Trey in particular had a nice balanced contribution. And if he can knock down those corner threes, if he can still attack and get to the basket, which I think is one of the big tests after you've had a sprained ligament in your knee, I thought he passed with flying colors the other night. Now, I haven't talked with him since. I don't know if there's been any soreness or repercussions, but that was encouraging.
G-Man, just one more. I know you got a lot to do. We appreciate your time, but one more, if I may. Get back to your first point that you made about how hard the Kings have to play. Mike Brown has been preaching this physicality. I think they've been playing more physically on defense since the officials have allowed more of that. To me, that's the best path forward here these last 8 games. The Kings have to really embrace that role of being a scrappy team that no matter what is going to play harder than the other team. Easier said than done, but I think that's what they have to become.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the indicators, when you see if it's a Keegan Murray, and I've seen it a couple of times recently, if it's a Keon Ellis, if it's a Trey Lyles, when they're making head first dives on the floor for a 50-50 ball, that tells me they're engaged and they're on the right track. And I can live with the result as long as you get that kind of effort. And you try to get it as close to 48 minutes as possible. And one of the things, and I've said this countless times over the years, that always fascinated me about the greats. And it didn't make any difference if it was Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. They find a way to motivate themselves as close to 82 times a season as possible. They find ways to get angry, and they let that impact their performance. And that's what great players do. And the Kings have to have a little slice of that in their inner being. And I think if they do that and they can be competitive, maybe they can surprise some of these teams, because there's nothing easy about the fact tonight with the Clippers. And then you got a horrific back-to-back, New York and Boston. And then you come back and you catch Brooklyn. And Brooklyn's kind of an up and down
Yeah.
team. They're a lot like the Kings have been so many times this year. You really don't know what you're getting on a nightly basis. You finish the trip in Oklahoma City, and we all know what the Thunder have done. Amazing job by Mark Daigneault and that crew. As young as they are, to play as well as they're playing, I've been so impressed. Then you come home for 3 that includes a back-to-back with New Orleans, who's just dominant.
All right, G-Man, you're killing me, G-Man.
And then you get Phoenix for a 5th time this season.
Wow.
Oh, my.
Oh, man.
So
that's
why I say lace them up tight.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Have a good call today,
Yeah.
G-Man. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, always
All right.
a distinct pleasure to talk to the great Gary Jones. Hey, he's a realist like you.
He's
You're
a
being
realist. That's
earlier.
exactly. We got to call it like we see it. It's going to be a tough road to hoe for the Sacramento Kings. Can they win a bunch of these games? Yes. But, they
What's a
got
bunch?
to bring. You notice I didn't say all of them. Right? There's
a
one,
bunch.
There's
Yeah.
one that I'm just like, I just can't see it. But, I got them at 6-2. Worst 5-3. It's possible with this team. And like I said earlier, you got to beat the Pelicans. You got to beat the Suns. You could beat this Clippers team tonight. I know they got some star power. I know they've won 3 in a row, but you could beat them. The Kings have beaten them before.
I don't know why. No, I expect them to win tonight, and I don't know why, but I do.
Right.
I really don't know why. Maybe it's just, that's the way this year has been all year long. The way this year has been, if you go by that, they end up playing really well here down the stretch.
Yeah.
Just when you give up on them or you think, wow, it's just too much to ask, then they start reeling off wins.
Right. And, I know with the Malik injury, but we haven't seen this team really with Sasha and Trey Lyles. How much can those guys give Mike Brown over these last 8 games? Who's going to step up? Sasha, before he went out, he was showing some flashes. I thought he played well the other night against Utah as well. And so as much as we're going to miss Malik, yes, there's still some talent on this team, and we just don't know how they're going to perform. That's the only thing. They could beat OKC. They could beat the Pelicans, if they play their game and if we get contributions. And tonight, like we said before, you mentioned it earlier, we'll learn a lot tonight about this team and how this season is going to shake out over the last 8 games.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how fans respond tonight. Kings fans are always, second to none. This year, there have been a lot of instances. We all understand it. We've all felt it where the Kings have been disappointing and the fans have let them know that. But I think now at this point, everyone recognizes the kind of all hands on deck mentality that's necessary.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if Kings fans bring it, if they even bring a little extra. It's not expected, because they're always the best fans in the league. But I'm interested and excited to see how fans respond tonight, because we have a genuine underdog now the rest of the way that really needs all the help they can get.
Yeah, we need the fan base to lift this team up now.
Yeah.
To give them some energy and don't be front runners tonight. You know what I mean? Don't only cheer when things are going good. Cheer when all right, Clippers are on the 6-0 run. All right, let's pump it up. Let's go, guys. We need a big defensive stop. Let's go. Get this crowd into it tonight.
Do you think, I know we touched on this yesterday, do you think the last 8 games here give the Kings potentially a head start on what next season could be like without Malik? I know that's down the list of things you're looking at.
Maybe, but we don't know what moves Monty's going to make. I don't, it could be, yes. It might not be. What if he makes some trades? What if they get another free agent? I just don't know. And so
I think it is. Yeah. I think it is. I didn't
tell me
interrupt
what.
you there. But just as far as a guy like Davion, for example, specifically him and maybe even Duarte, it's a chance for Davion's a 6th man now, right? Here and/or Lyles.
Yep.
So, I mean, if he plays really well down the stretch, that would go a long ways towards convincing the front office this offseason that, all right, this is a guy that has a future here. Maybe we're not sure exactly what it is, but he could definitely cement a role for this team going forward, I think.
Yeah, and I think a number of guys have something to prove over the.
Yeah.
Our guy, Keon Ellis.
Yes, sir.
Think still has some things that he can prove. Like he could solidify himself in the rotation going into next season, as a possible starter even next season. Davion, like you mentioned. What about Sasha? I think Sasha has some things to prove. We have not seen the best of him this season. And so I think a number of guys outside of our top 3 have something to prove tonight.
So then again, it gets back to the big 2 Do we really need Domas to score more? And is that realistic?
Yes, it is, Whitey, because I got the numbers right here. You bring that up. And here's the thing about Domas.
Is it going to be him? Is he going to have to do that? Or are they going to have to look for him more? Or how do you go about that?
I think that the attempts are there for him to take. It's not like they got to run more stuff for him or anything like that. Here's what's interesting about Domas. Over the last 20 games since the All-Star break, 18.2 points per game, 55% from the field, 29% from three. In the 54 games before the All-Star break, 20.1 points per game, 62%, 43% from three. And then yesterday, I brought up the stat about, I forget, it was his last five or whatever it was, where he was only averaging 14 points per game. He has to be right around 20 or more, I think, for this team. I mean, it's there for him. The same thing with Keegan. In the flow of the offense, we're looking for Keegan to be more aggressive. I need Domas. Dude, he took 12 shots, and I know it was a blowout win against Utah. 12 shots in the first half against Utah, 2 the second half. That's not going to cut it. That's not. I need a more balanced Domantas Sabonis.
And what do we need from De'Aaron Fox? De'Aaron Fox needs to score, and he needs to be efficient. I hear people talking about, well, they need this many points from De'Aaron.
Right.
Yeah. With De'Aaron, it's all about the efficiency. When he's scoring efficiently, he gives a team a huge boost. When he's having one of those nights where, like in Washington, 10 for 30, he's scoring a lot of points, but ultimately it doesn't help you that much.
It's not that efficient. You know what I need De'Aaron to be? And I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to put it on the bottom shelf for everybody out there. You don't have to reach high to understand this one. I need De'Aaron to be a top 2 player any night he takes the floor. So, for instance,
top 2
on the floor that night. So, him and Paul George got to duke it out. Him and Jalen Brunson got to duke it out. Him and Tatum got to, you can't have De'Aaron Fox be the 3rd or 4th best player on the floor. You have zero chance to win, in my opinion, in that way. I go back to the Mavericks game on Friday. 23 points, solid. But Kyrie and Luka controlled that game. De'Aaron was a glorified role player in that game. He cannot be that. He has to be one of the top 2 impactful players on the floor for this team.
We don't know how healthy he is. It looks like he's recovered from whatever was bothering him in terms of his shoulder earlier in the year. But getting back to what G-Man just told us, great players do this. They find a way. Isn't this an opportunity right now for De'Aaron Fox to show his teammates, fans, the basketball world that, you know what, I am good enough to carry this team the rest of the way?
Yeah, I mean, but
this
the
is a
thing
chance
about,
for him to prove his greatness.
But I don't think De'Aaron feels that kind of pressure or that kind of vibe. I have to prove myself.
But when he gets angry, it's not like he feels pressure. Like there's a certain type of expectation that he thrives on.
Right. And we've seen it in nationally televised big time matchups.
Yeah.
See Jalen Brunson come Thursday. Tonight, it'll be interesting, because, and G-Man just talked about using motivation. What's his carrot tonight? What's his motivation tactic tonight? Is it James Harden? I want to light him up. Is it the standings? Is it playing at home? Whatever it is to get De'Aaron Fox motivated, we need to use it. And so I can see him being motivated playing at Madison Square Garden on Thursday, wanting to put on the show. But what do you do tonight? What do you do Sunday against Brooklyn? What do you do Friday in Boston against your boy Tatum? That's what I'm saying, man. He got to bring it.
You know what is a treat tonight for anybody who's here, anybody watching also? We have 2 guys in this game tonight. I'm not a big fan of one of them, but I appreciate the fact that he plays so hard. In Domas and Westbrook, I don't think we'll ever find in the history of the game 2 guys that night in, night out play any harder.
Lay it on the line, right?
Yeah. Russell Westbrook is incredible. I don't think I'd ever want him on my team because he's so stubborn offensively, but man, does he set a tone for you with his effort.
He does, and he's fitting perfectly with this Clippers team. And let me tell you a quick Westbrook story. As he was out there warming up, I don't know if you saw this, Whitey, there was a special needs kid sitting there with a Wizards Westbrook jersey on, and Russell Westbrook spent some time with this kid on the court.
Uh-huh.
Took some pictures, and then I watched the kid afterwards, and the kid ran up to his dad and gave him a double high five. Like, he made his day. And so those are some of the things we don't see from these athletes. We see Westbrook engaging with a fan, arguing about the fan, calling him out his name. But, he does a lot of things behind the scenes too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope he does things behind the scenes tonight and not
on
here
the court,
right? On the floor, because that's the last thing the Kings
I
need
got
tonight.
something for you, though. And let me, I want your opinion on this. This is from the text line, 916. If the Kings need Sasha to contribute big, then they have some serious problems. He played well on his stint, but he was at the 5 and his defense was horrible during that stretch. You believe in that? You if we need something from Sasha, then things went terribly wrong when we got some serious problems. I mean, we already do have serious problems. We're without Malik and Kevin Huerter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they needed something big from him, all right, maybe I'm taking that too literally. But, yeah, okay, I get your point. But there's still an opportunity for him to give them things that would be like a bonus.
Yeah.
They're not sitting there going, if we don't get anything from Sasha, we're doomed. But there's still an opportunity for him to be one of those guys that helps fill that Malik-less void now.
Yeah.
That's all.
Right.
And no one is sitting there going, Sasha's got to
30
save us, or that's it.
Right.
It's all over.
Yeah. And then somebody from the 7, Sasha's got to be the next Malik. No, he doesn't.
He's not going to be.
If that's what we need, then we're in trouble. Like, he just has to be a contributor. He can't be a zero when he's out there on the floor.
The whole thing with him, and I don't know how much of him you saw before he came over. I saw like that one, they lost that European League championship.
Yeah.
I get confused because there's so many tournaments and championships,
yeah.
But he clearly was like the guy on, what was the team? Olympiacos, but Path. That's the team. That's the one. And it's like he's clearly one of their guys. And here you can see this is a smart basketball player, and he's trying to figure out the best way to fit in.
Right.
And so it's hard for a guy who's doing that to have that big of an impact unless everything he shoots is going in. That's still where he is.
Yeah.
If everything he shoots goes in, it's like, wow, you had a good game. Other than that, he's still figuring out how to contribute.
Yeah, I think so. And he's still getting adjusted. And,
that's it.
Right. And it's crazy because we know he's a dead-eye shooter. We know that. I think he's the kind of guy that just needs minutes, Whitey. He's not – I don't think he's a Vinnie Johnson, put him in two minutes and he's going to light it. I think he needs time to go up and down the court, get comfortable out there, and work his way into a game. So I'd like to see Mike extend his minutes a little bit here over these last 8 games.
What do you think of him defensively? He's been on the floor so seldomly. It's hard to say. The commenter said he's been terrible. I think he's been maybe a little better than I've given him credit for, but that's why I question bringing him over in the first place, is because he's not a great defender.
Yeah, but the effort is there with him. That's one thing I will say about Sasha. The effort is there. He had a couple of deflections last game. He wants to do the right thing. It's not like he's not trying out there. And is he a defensive stopper? Maybe not. But I think he can improve in that area. I really do.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Drape's on the call tonight.
Yeah,
do you know what your community of choice is going to be tonight? Sasha hits one from the logo. He hit that from.
I might do a Lodi tonight. I might find people out in Lodi. I'm giving y'all a shout out right now. I might do Lodi. Maybe Stockton. Those are my people down in Stockton. I might do that somewhere in that area. Maybe a Galt reference or something like that.
You don't really know, do you? It's just going to happen.
It really just happens like spur of the moment. Yeah. Yeah, spur of the moment.
Yeah.
So,
what about pace-wise? We anticipating a little up and down contest tonight? That's the type of thing you got to prepare for.
Yeah, right? I think so. Up and down pace, especially against these old guys. It's funny. In doing the research, these are, one of the 2 teams with no players under the age of 21. Let me double check that stat. This is crazy. Like, the Clippers we know are an aging team.
Yeah.
But all 36 players are over the age of 21.
Wow.
There are only 8 teams in the league without a player under 21. Denver, Golden State, Pelicans, Knicks, Philly, Phoenix, and these 2. So these are 2. I mean, the Kings are still relatively young, but you're not going to see any 19-year-olds out there tonight or 20-year-olds. These are, the older teams going at it.
You've been following the NBA a long time. How much stock, if any, do we put into how guys shooting in warm-up?
You know, I'm glad you said that because I was just thinking this. I'm of the belief the worse he looks in warm-ups, the better he's going to be in the game.
Really?
Yes.
Because Sasha's on fire right now.
Oh, don't. Well, scratch that. He's going to be great in the game. But I don't.
He's missed maybe one shot. Look at that.
You know, I liken it to my golf game. I'm first team all range.
Yeah.
But then when I get out on the course, I'm crappy, you know? And so I don't put a whole lot of stock into it. Let me just say that.
What do you think of his shoes, by the way? The red shoes he's got now.
I like that.
Yeah.
He's out for blood.
Uh-huh.
He's out for blood tonight.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Look at that.
High Flyer made it on time today, big fella. Show started at game starts at 7 today. Not like Sunday against the Utah Jazz. Sunday was tight. I heard even Whitey had to fill in a segment.
Happy to do it. You've helped us out many times, Flyer. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being with us. It's an exciting night. Looking forward to this one tonight. That's going to do it for the drive, guys. Back with you tomorrow.